What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the BallGame podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
I'm Tom.
I'm Pete.
The NFL season is just 2 months away. It is right around the corner, and we are here to begin our divisional breakdown. So, 2 per episode, and we're going to be going, obviously, the 4 different sets of divisions, North, South, East, and West. On this episode, we're going to be covering the AFC and the NFC North. So, this one's going to be an interesting one. Bunch of great teams, potential Super Bowl contenders involved in this episode. So I can't wait to see some of our differing opinions on this one. And, of course, we're going to get it all started with the AFC North and potentially one of the worst teams in all football.
The Cleveland Browns finished last year with a 3-14 record, and they really didn't do too much in the offseason to make anyone feel any better about their outlook going into 2025. They had the number 2 overall pick. They traded out of it, traded down to number 5, selected Mason Graham, fired Ken Dorsey, their offensive coordinator, brought in Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, and Dylan Gabriel, 4 different quarterbacks.
That's a classic Browns quarterback room, honestly. Classic Browns.
It's going to be a mess.
Yeah.
An absolute mess.
A mess is an understatement, to be quite honest with
It's
you.
going to be a train wreck.
Yeah, brought in 4 different quarterbacks, extended Myles Garrett, gave him that fat, juicy bag. So shout out to Myles Garrett. And FanDuel has their win total set at 5.5 wins. So are we going with the over or the under on the Browns?
I am
Mr. Brown guy over here.
pretty comfortably. I'm not a Browns guy. I'm a Baker guy. I've been doing my guy Baker dirty on the pod, so I had to
You
show,
really have.
I had to show him some love today. But I'm going with the under here. The Browns just drafting Mason Graham is cool. I love the prospect, but they just didn't do anything to impress me. They won 3 games last year, and it's going to be ugly again this year. So Browns fans, it's back to the days of old. I'm afraid. Just turn away. Don't watch.
Yeah. I don't know. I definitely don't think there's much in store for the Browns other than an even more complicated locker room. You're sitting there with 3 guys who want that starting spot at quarterback, and Flacco wants to be the QB1, but so does Shedeur Sanders, getting drafted so late in the NFL draft this season. And I honestly don't think that I don't even know how good the chemistry is going to be between these quarterbacks. I think there's a lot of competition. Sometimes that's not necessarily healthy for a team.
True.
You're pretty much relying on Jerry Jeudy to connect with any of these 3 quarterbacks, and that's not enough to get a team to clear the over, even at just 5.5 wins. And funny enough, the under is favored at a -130 for the Browns, and that's for a reason. So I'm going under as well.
Yeah, I mean, you said turn away and don't look, and I think that's what a lot of people are going to be doing when Browns games are on the screen this year. I don't trust Joe Flacco at this point. He wasn't great for the Colts last year. I don't trust Shedeur Sanders in his first season as much as I may have loved the prospect of him. And Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, like, are we serious? I don't think we got to mention those guys much. So, yeah, I mean, it's tough. There's a great defense there. There really is. But you need a good offense to support a great defense to even have a competent team. They don't have that. And with that, yeah, I'm also going to take the under. I think it's pretty simple for me. So, Chris, what are you thinking? Are we clean sweeping on this?
We're clean sweeping on it. There's just nothing to get excited about, to feel excited about this team. They were one of, if not the worst offenses in the NFL last year. According to PFF, their overall offensive grade was the worst in the NFL last year. In terms of rushing, they were amongst the bottom in every major statistical rushing category. Does Quinshon Judkins change that by himself? I don't think so. And then their offensive line is just not as good as it once was. You know, in those early Baker days, that was one of the strong suits of the Cleveland Browns, their strong offensive line, but not so much anymore. Like I said, the run game was weak, and then I'm looking at, most QB pressures allowed. They were the first in the league with 269 total quarterback pressures allowed. So the offensive line isn't great. You have an unsure quarterback situation where you might have to throw a rookie in there with a not-so-good offensive line. Jerry Jeudy's cool. Shout out to him. But if that's your only true building block on the offensive side of the ball, you're in trouble, especially in this division where you have to play against 3 great teams 6 times. So, yeah, I think I'm pretty comfortably taking the under here.
Some respect to Cedric Tillman. That man is a baller. He's proven it in the past. Hopefully that continues. But, yeah, this team is
2 good weeks, man.
Hey, man. And then he got hurt, bro. I think it might have been 3. It was 3 really good weeks, and then he got hurt. But Yeah, this team is just. I have
Someone
no.
tweeted about it because someone tweeted about like, yo, like you got to draft Cedric Tillman. He was a wide receiver 1 week 7 through 9, and someone said this would have helped a lot of people win their leagues if leagues only went from week 7 to 9.
Yeah, I do think he got hurt after that though.
got a
I believe that was
concussion, yeah.
exactly and then it kind of went off the rails from that point forward. But I don't. In terms of like watchability for a team, I'm not going out of my way to watch a Browns game.
No, that's a good point. I was going to make that same point. Like, respect to Mason Graham, but had they drafted Travis Hunter, at least you would have tuned in. Had they re-signed Jameis Winston, everyone loves Jameis Winston football, but there's nothing to like here.
That one Thursday night game against.
Oh my God! When he was thanking God for snow.
We were right. Was that?
Oh, that was
Yes.
another Thursday
We were
night
right
game.
here.
There was 2
Oh, was it?
Thursday night
Yeah.
games. Yeah.
I was at Buffalo
There
Wild Wings for
was
that.
one
That
in the
was-
snow against the Steelers where they
Yes.
beat
Yep.
them. That was
Yeah.
a classic. And the one where we were here was against the Broncos.
Broncos.
That was a Jerry
Yeah.
Judy 3-touchdown
Yep.
game
Yep.
or whatever it was.
Absolute shootout.
Where you
I
had,
think Jameis threw for 500 that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jerry Judy had
Crazy,
like
bro.
200 yards.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying.
crazy.
Like, at least you'd watch 3 or 4 Browns games and
Right.
If I
not
had
regret the
Jameis-
experience. Yeah.
Jameis, it's watchable. But I mean, we're talking about watchability, and I'm going to shift gears. I don't think we have much more to talk about with the Browns. Potentially the most watchable and most interesting team, whether you believe they're going to crash and burn or whether you believe they're a Super Bowl contender. The Pittsburgh Steelers this year are going to be so fun to watch. Aaron Rodgers, DK Metcalf, Jalen Ramsey in tow. This is a very overhauled team and an offseason that is very uncharacteristic for the Pittsburgh Steelers nonetheless. They went out and made a bunch of splashes, and depending on how you view this team, it could be all the way up here as Super Bowl contenders or all the way down here as a team that's going to crash and burn like the Jets from last year with Aaron Rodgers. Sorry, Pete.
No.
But
I'm about to get there.
so I'm curious to see where you guys have them, and currently the over/under for them is 8.5. I don't know where we're going with this, but this is going to be fun.
I think I've seen the Steelers do more with less. I think they're universally known as a 9-8 team. I expect them to win 9 games at least with this unit. I'm going to hit the over here and feel pretty good about it. Like you said, Aaron Rodgers, DK, Ramsey, added Jonnu Smith as well, added Darius Slay, drafted Caleb Johnson, beef up that run game a little bit. But the Rodgers acquisition, it's a big improvement over Russell Wilson. I mean, this is a team that threw the 6th fewest passing yards per game last year. You add a guy that threw nearly 4,000 yards. Yeah, sure, they were in games that didn't matter, in situations that didn't matter, but still an upgrade nonetheless. And we know what a Steelers defense is going to look like. It was already a top 10 unit, somewhere 5 to 10 in that range last year. It's going to be a top 5 defense. I see them winning over 8.5 games for sure.
So this is a story of when that line's at 8.5, they're either winning one more game than they're losing, or losing one more game than they're winning. And
It's almost like Vegas knows.
Right. And I think Vegas has no fucking idea what to do. And that's why they put it at 8.5. But they did favor the under at -140. I personally agree with that. I'll tell you why. I think if we're going to shoot for an 8-9 season or 9-8 season, I'm going to go an 8-9 season. I don't think it gets any worse than that. I think they win at least 8 games. So it's going to be a close call. I will go with the under. Lots of different reasons, though. So obviously, QB play is a big concern. We have Aaron Rodgers on there this year. Last year, clearly Aaron Rodgers wasn't really what the Jets needed. And I think the Steelers think that Aaron Rodgers is what they need. We do see similar offensive weapons when it comes to the wide receivers. We have DK Metcalf and Calvin Austin in comparison to Garrett Wilson and Devontae Adams.
I don't know if that's similar, brother.
No, so I'll put it this way: DK in comparison to like Devontae, I think that's when it comes to size and the way they're going to connect together.
They at least play the same sport.
Right.
Yeah, that's about all I
But
could say about those two.
I think Calvin Austin kind of brings down the stock and how well that Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to connect to the wide receivers. And then when it comes to the backfield, Jalen Warren and Caleb Johnson aren't very promising in comparison to Braylon Allen and Breece Hall. The Jets didn't do too well. I think they had better weapons than the Steelers have this year. I do think the Steelers are a stronger franchise, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to be the man to kind of turn it around. I'm going under 8.5 wins for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That analysis is very Jets fan of you.
It's
Yeah.
very Jets fan of me.
Very
yeah.
Jets fan of you.
I do
Say
think
anything
yeah.
that was wrong?
No, I can't.
No. But the Steelers,
DK and Devontae are similar.
if the Steelers do win 9 games, it's
Calvin
because of their
Austin,
defense.
Garrett Wilson.
Okay.
It's because of their defense, but I'm going under.
No, he was saying they're not similar.
Oh, I heard similar. I'm sorry.
No,
I
he
thought
was
you
saying
said.
that's what's going to hurt the
Oh,
Steelers
okay,
is
okay,
Aaron
okay.
Rodgers wasn't able to be good with Garrett and Devontae.
So why would
How
we
do
go
we
with
expect
DK
him to be
and
good
Calvin?
with DK and Calvin Austin?
Yeah.
I think-
Fair point. That's a fair
Yeah.
point. Yeah. Can't hate on that.
So-
Yeah, yeah,
100%
yeah, yeah. No, no, 100%. They're not even
Yeah.
remotely close. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
right.
right.
Warren, Caleb Johnson compared to Braylon Allen and Brees too. Like they can't even freaking save him, man.
All right. Jalen Warren, put some
You
respect
put
on
some
my
goddamn
dog.
respect on Jalen Warren's name.
All
Like,
right, who would you rather have, Brees Hall or Jalen Warren?
yeah, Brees.
Oh, yeah,
but like,
Brees Hall.
Right. So yeah, my computer just restarted.
as a duo, Braylon was cool.
I'm
last
just saying,
year.
like,
Braylon's so
Brees
cool,
was-
though.
I'm saying if you look at their
Braylon
Braylon
is-
Braylon's
One of
so
the-
cool, bro.
Braylon is actually really cool.
He's so
on the
cool.
football field, he's mid. He's mid. He's there.
Yes. Some moments.
He's got something to prove this year. I think the Jets haven't really given him like a full chance to like fully, show what he can do. I think if they give him a little bit more time, I think you'll be more than impressed. I think you'll be more impressed with him than
Like Caleb Johnson.
yeah, I think so.
We're 12 minutes into this podcast having a Braylon Allen and Caleb Johnson
Yeah.
discussion.
I don't think we should go there. I don't want to go there. A lot of people probably disagree, but
I mean, why? Which backfield are you? Ooh, we could have the conversation.
No, I'm kidding.
Which backfield are you taking? The Steelers backfield?
Taking
or
the
Jets
Jets.
backfield?
Yeah.
I'm taking the Steelers backfield.
Really?
Yeah.
really,
It's close. I really like Caleb Johnson
Yeah.
a ton.
Oh,
I think he.
yeah. Brees Hall carries that comparison though. That's pretty much.
100%.
Yeah.
I think Caleb fits next to Jalen Warren really well. But as
That's
does
fair.
Braylon Allen next to Brees Hall. They both backfield groups kind of complement each other really well. So
I think Jalen Warren is severely underrated and has been
Good player.
his whole career.
Yeah, he's good.
He's really underrated. So
Severely underrated.
I'm also a salty Jets fan, bro.
I'd take the
Hell
Jets
yeah.
backfield still. But shit, if Caleb Johnson comes out and does what he was doing in college, then
Opinion might change.
who
Yeah.
closes the gap a little bit.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I think that over and over and over again, I feel like we've had this conversation about the Steelers every year to where it's always set at 8.5. It feels like it's always set at 8.5. And I know for a fact where you're going on this one because you have a consistent track record of where you go with the Steelers. I have a consistent track record in saying that Mike Tomlin is always going to win at least 9 games. It's just the way it is. And it's historical precedent, and it's the fact that this team is just significantly better than the teams of the past that he has somehow managed to win 9 games with anyways. I think this is one of the easiest lines that we're going to have, in my personal opinion, because I think they're going to win 11-plus games. I really believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'll plug the other video that's already come out at this point, so go check that out where we have a whole Pittsburgh Steelers conversation.
Yeah, it'll be popping up on the screen or something like that. You guys will be able to click it. So after the Ramsey trade, we talked about the Steelers
Yep.
in depth. So
It got interesting over there. But yeah, I think this backfield is awesome, and I think it's the perfect complement to Rodgers, and I think it's the perfect complement to a defense that is going to be a top 5 unit for sure. They have one of the best secondaries in the entire NFL, no matter how you look at it, and then one of the best pass rushes as well. So the only problem that I have is this whole TJ Watt situation. This got to get figured out. What are we doing? We need to pay the man. I've said that a million times. You need to pay the guy. So I'm taking the over. That's the easiest one I think I'll have potentially all year. So,
man, the Pittsburgh Steelers, my fellow Jets brethren. Remember, you guys got Aaron Rodgers. He tore his Achilles.
Shame.
You guys still somehow managed to win 7 games. The year before that, you guys won 7 games as well. With Zach Wilson at quarterback. Everyone
Very
said,
bad.
what did everyone say? Everyone said, wow, you could win 7 games with Zach Wilson. You could only win so many more with Aaron Rodgers. That's what everyone said. This kind of feels similar.
Deja vu.
Steelers were able to win so many games with Kenny Pickett, with Mason Rudolph,
Real bad.
with Russell Wilson, with 5 games of Justin Fields, 6 games of Justin Fields, whatever it was.
6.
Can only win so many more with Aaron Rodgers. But what if Aaron Rodgers is the one man who ruins Mike Tomlin's track record and not only sends himself into retirement, Aaron Rodgers, but sends Mike Tomlin into retirement too. He says, "Wow,
Oh my God.
I had a losing season.
I hate
It's
football.
time to get out of here. I'm done. My time here is done." I don't know. I love the roster. I love the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
They definitely have a top 5 defense in the league. I feel like that's pretty undisputed. They have one of, if not the best pass rushes in the NFL. You know, you have T.J. Watt, you have Highsmith,
yeah.
you have Nick Heiberg,
Nick Herbig, yep.
Herbig, who came onto the scene last year. So you have a strong pass rush. Obviously, you have a great secondary with the addition of Ramsey. You're pretty good in the middle. You know, you have Patrick Queen. You have the rookie from NC State, Payton Wilson, who kind of came along later in the season last year. So you're pretty set on, you know, at all 3 levels of the field on the defensive side of the ball. I think the wide receiver room is definitely a real concern. Like, there's definitely reason to have pushback with the wide receiver room. And I know they were clowning you a little bit, but I think that's a great point that Aaron Rodgers wasn't able to get over the hump with Garrett Wilson, Devontae Adams,
And
Brees Hall,
and Lazard, bro.
and Lazard having one of the
Right.
best years of his career.
Yeah.
And
Oh, fucking Allen.
he wasn't able to get over the hump. And then you give him a wide receiver room of a DK Metcalf, who everyone says is a diva and, you know, plays smaller than he is. And he's not that good, DK Metcalf. And Calvin Austin and Romeo Wilson.
It's Roman. Put some respect on his
And
goddamn
Romeo
name.
Wilson, like, this is definitely a worse weapons room than what Rodgers had to deal with the Jets last year. You could even argue he's playing with a worse O-line here in Pittsburgh because the Jets O-line, they were shaky last year, but
Lot of
definitely
injuries.
definitely towards the end of the year, they kind of found their footing. They were a young O-line, so
Yeah.
I give them some grace, but they got better as the season went on, and I feel like you can make a real argument that the Jets O-line of last year was better than this current Steelers O-line. Like, I feel like there's a real argument to be had that the Jets offense, personnel-wise, was just better than what the Steelers have going on right now.
Yeah.
But they also had,
Not good coaching,
yes,
Yeah.
which matters.
horrible. Like the worst.
But also, do we not anticipate that Arthur Smith and Aaron Rodgers are going to butt heads? This isn't his buddy, Nathaniel Hackett, who he could just boss around.
But
He has
is that
to-
a good thing?
I don't
Because we
know.
saw what happened when Aaron Rodgers got his way with everything. Arthur Smith has proven that he's got, you know,
Yeah, but
got
maybe
the
Aaron
nuts. He's
Rodgers
got the
will-
nuts.
Cojones.
But maybe the nuts will make Aaron Rodgers sit in the corner and cry.
I don't think that's what will happen. I think he's
I
going to
don't know.
respond well. Look, the year that Aaron Rodgers, I know this is an older Aaron Rodgers, but when Aaron Rodgers had Matt LaFleur and the two of them worked together to put an offense that made sense for both of them, it worked to a back-to-back MVP.
It did.
So is he an MVP anymore? Probably not. But I'm just saying that once you have a guy that has the balls to put him on the table and say, Aaron, we're going to work it out. We're both going to make something like out of this offense here, and you're not going to have all the power in the world, because then Nat Hackett gets fired, and who are we going to have Aaron arguing with now? And it wasn't Nat in the first place. It was just everyone in the Jets fucking coaching staff was a pussy, a big fat pussy when it came to Aaron
It
Rodgers.
wasn't big and fat. It was just pussy.
And Aaron took full advantage of it. I'm just saying. So
That definitely did happen, though, and
I'm sorry, that shit ain't that is not fucking
Aaron Rodgers
flying
is a
off.
41-year-old Hall of Famer. He is not
Right.
going to change anything about how he acts.
he's not going to go in there and let, other fellow elder people who are probably the same age as him
Literally.
tell him what to do.
Yeah, I
know?
agree. I don't care about no Steelers way. Aaron Rodgers does not give a fuck
No, he's
what
Aaron
Arthur
Rodgers.
Smith has to say. He doesn't.
He'll respect
I
Maybe
think,
Mike
I
Tomlin.
think
Maybe
he's
Mike
definitely
Tomlin.
respected Mike Tomlin.
Sure, but Arthur Smith, I promise you, Aaron Rodgers does not give a fuck.
Okay,
what
but
he
Mike
has.
Tomlin's gonna have something to do with that too, though.
Sure.
Like you're either you got to buy the fuck in. Like, and also the fact that he was willing to take the pay cut, the massive pay cut that he did, $10 million a year, it shows me a little something that
Who else was paying that man?
What happened?
Who else was paying that man?
It doesn't matter. Regardless, like the guy could have taken a little bit of a bag. The
From
Steelers
who?
would have offered him more money than that if he asked for more. They would have done that. They were desperate. He said, "You know what? I'll take $10 million. Let's build the rest of this roster. I want to win a Super Bowl this year." This is a different Aaron Rodgers. He went on an ayahuasca retreat. He saw the vision of him hoisting one more Lombardi.
Did ayahuasca before the Jets?
Yeah, but he saw the vision of him taking advantage of the Jets.
You think he had a different vision this time?
Yes, he had a very different
He
vision.
probably had a
this
different
time.
vision when he had that other different
No,
vision.
because he took Mike Tomlin with him. He took Mike Tomlin with him. He didn't take any of the Jets coaches with him.
No.
Wait,
Rob
you
Sal-
went
Rob
on
Sal's
an
not into
ayahuasca
that
retreat
shit.
together?
Yeah, bro.
Nate Hackett definitely went with him the first.
He didn't go with him. He didn't go.
Nate Hackett drove him.
Mike
dropped him
didn't
off.
actually.
Picked him up.
Aaron said, nah.
Got him Wendy's on the way home.
Aaron said, nah, I don't want to.
Stop the big.
I'm not gonna lie. The partnered ayahuasca trip might change that to the over for me.
I mean, like,
They didn't
like I said,
actually. I was joking.
I
Mike
think-
Tomlin ain't going on no
it's still-
fucking
it's
ayahuasca
still
retreat,
under.
brother.
I think the weapons room is a legit concern. I think the offensive line is a legit concern that isn't getting highlighted.
Did you go over
Yeah,
or
that's fair.
under? I forget.
I went
And
over.
We'll wrap it up here. Okay, you're going
Yeah, I
over.
went
So
over.
I'm going over. You're going over. I'm going under. You're going,
Going
over,
over, yeah.
and we're going.
I'm going under.
All right, so it's a tie here. Under, over. Makes sense because the line's 8.5. So
Yeah.
we'll leave the fate in the Steelers.
All I know is he ain't have no Jonnu and Pat Fryermuth. Now he does.
Sorry. All
Yeah,
right.
Aaron Rodgers historically throws to his tight ends a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm praying on their downfall.
He's
I
never
really-
had Jonnu.
I hope this whole thing blows up in his face, man.
So
Damn.
speaking of things blowing up, I think. Speaking of things blowing up.
Speaking of IEDs,
Next up, we got the Bengals, and I think they're going to have a blow-up season. I think they're going to do better than they did last year. Right now, the over-under is 9.5, and it's an easy over for me. Last year, they finished the season with 9 wins. I think they're only getting better than the year before. I think they're in a better position that they were in the beginning of this season than they were the beginning of last season. They only need one more win to go over here. I think they get that 10th win. I don't think they take a step back. I think they take a step forward. Joe Burrow, T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, Chase Brown. Chase Brown isn't starting in week 6. He's starting in week 1. I think this is going to be a beautiful season for the Bengals, and they only need one more win than last year to clear that over. Bengals over for me.
so my pushback there is, let's say you didn't watch football last season, right? You're in a coma. You became a fan this season, whatever.
Okay.
If I told you that Joe Burrow led the league in passing yards, led the league in passing touchdowns, led the league in completion percentage, am I wrong on that?
He was.
He was definitely at the top. He was at about
if he
70%.
wasn't number one, he was probably
He was up
top
there,
3.
right.
Yeah.
Reason why he's
I think
top
Gino-
5 this year
I
in
think-
fantasy.
Then Jamar Chase was a triple crown, led the league in receiving yards, receptions, receiving touchdowns. And then on the other side of the ball, Trey Hendrickson led the NFL in sacks. You'd say, wow, they went insane last year. They might have been in Super Bowl talks. No, they didn't even make the playoffs. They didn't make the playoffs with the best passer, receiver, and sacker in football.
All the sacks.
Yeah. Their defense was atrocious. They fired their defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo, who brought them to the Super Bowl a few years ago. They allowed the 8th most points per game. They allowed the 4th most passing touchdowns, and they didn't do anything to make their defense better. So it's super, super concerning. Their offensive line has issues as well. It's tough. What is the update on Trey Hendrickson? Is he he's still in a holdout?
It doesn't seem as though he's going to be a Bengal next year.
He's not going to play unless he gets a contract.
Right.
Yep.
No, yeah, okay.
Yep.
And it just doesn't seem like
No.
to me, like he's not TJ Watt and the Bengals aren't the Steelers. But I just have to assume he gets a contract.
They just need him so
They
bad.
need
Like
him so bad.
their defense was one of the worst in the
just
NFL.
have to assume that he's
Yeah.
paid by week 1. Maybe it's similar to what the Cowboys did with Dak and CD going into this past season, where it was
Last second.
literally less. I mean, they paid Dak right before.
I think it might have been
before
the
week one,
day.
yeah.
The
Yeah,
day
it was
before.
like a few hours
Yeah.
before the week 1 game.
So, all that being said, repeating success is really hard to do in the NFL. Joe Burrow is obviously one of the handful of guys that can throw for 5,000 yards and 40 touchdowns. He could do that again. It's a lot to ask, even of the greats. And so for him to make up for the lack of juice on the offensive line, for the lack of assets on defense, he would have to surpass what he did last year. And it's a tall order. Jamar Chase, too. He'd have to be as good, if not better, than he was last year. And again, he's arguably the best receiver in football. It's a lot to ask. Jamar and T both got paid, so that's good there. They finally paid somebody because they don't pay anybody, the Bengals. So I'm going to go the under here. I hate to do it because the Burrow and Jamar connection is just one of the best ever. But I think 9 is comfortable for me.
So you think that they would have to these player stats would have to be better than they were last year to win more games, but that's kind of what you're saying, right?
I wouldn't
Kind
even
of.
say.
I wouldn't say
In a
better.
way, maybe, because this is the thing, like, clearly they're leading in all these stats, and clearly the scoreboard didn't reflect that. Do you think there's a couple of adjustments that can be made in this offseason, going into this season, that will allow them to kind of push over at least one more win to clear the over? Because that's kind of what I was thinking.
I don't think there's much more they can do. I'm assuming Trey Hendrickson's suiting up game 1, week 1.
Mm-hmm.
But just the other guys on defense just don't move me.
How far under do you think they go? You think they win like
I think
8 games?
9.
You think they win 9?
I think 9. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Vegas has a kind of on the point with all these, because even
Yeah,
when I'm going
they-
under or over, I'm going,
By a hair.
like, I have them winning 10.
Yeah.
Not
It's
9.
insane
But, you know,
that the betting companies do this every
Yeah.
year with all 32
They
teams.
nail
Yes.
it every year.
I know.
Every year.
Yeah.
It really does feel that way. Yeah. I'm curious as to how it ended up last year, to be honest, and what it looked like. But
Yeah, I'll look into that.
probably
after.
something we can pull up. But
The line was probably very, very similar. I think.
Very close.
for
They
most
might have
of
had
them-
him at 10.5, honestly. I know I smashed the over on him last
Yeah.
year.
I think I
remember that.
don't even remember.
Yeah.
what
I
did.
was all over the Bengals last year.
Yep.
It's actually funny too, because like part of the reason why was like Joe Burrow was going to lead the league in passing yards. Jamar Chase, I was so like, I mean, it's not like a hot take to be high on Jamar, but like I had Jamar as my fantasy wide receiver
did.
1 last year. Like
Yeah.
that was one of my strong takes, and I had a very strong conviction on that, and that stuff came to fruition, and they still missed
Missed
the
the
playoffs.
playoffs.
Like
It's crazy.
so, yeah, it's tough. So you took the under.
I took the over, winning 10 games.
I'm gonna take the under, I do think this defense is improved. I really do. Like there are pieces here. It's just there's something about the pass rushers that they hate. Like they hate Trey Hendrickson because they refuse to pay him. They hate the rookie they took in the first round, Shamar Stewart, because
Insane.
they're trying to put a clause in his contract that if he gets hurt, they don't owe him any money. So we're trying to set a precedent and be the first to ever do something to a rookie that's never played a snap in the NFL, that's your first round pick. It seems like every time this organization takes a step forward, they take 3 steps back.
Agreed.
And this is something that players are now going to remember. Like you're going to have players that are looking at the Bengals and saying, "Why would I go there? They do this to their players. Why would I want to sign with that team? Why would I want to re-up?" Like they told Trey Hendrickson offseason after offseason, "We're going to pay you. We're going to pay you. Go play this year. Go ball out. We're going to pay you." And then he goes and leads the league in sacks, and they don't pay him. Like,
Oh, you did a little too much there. We can't get down with that. You did a little too much.
I'm sorry, buddy, but
You're too
you
good.
made yourself too much money. Like, you need to play a little bit worse. It's like I don't trust this organization with anything, and it sucks because we are watching one of the greatest quarterbacks we've ever seen play football, but we don't get to see him consistently enough in the playoffs because they have a poverty-ass organization that cannot put a supporting cast around him on the other side of the ball that is enough to support. So, yeah, it sucks, but I'm going under. This offense is electric, but the defense, we'll see what happens.
Taking the over on the Bengals, kind of
Very
similar to
parallel
what you
here,
said.
yeah.
I think they squeak out 10 wins. I don't think everything would have to be perfect for them to get more than 10 wins. You know, it's like almost like the line's perfect. But they won 9 games last year. They had a rocky start. I mean, they started, 0-4, 0-5, something like that.
Rocky
and
start, yeah.
That's the Bengals thing in the
Yeah.
Joe Burrow era.
Horrible start.
So, I can't say they're not going to do that going into this year, but to me, it's like, despite the struggles throughout the entire season, avoid the rocky start, and you're a playoff team.
Right.
Avoid the rocky start,
Yep.
and they're a playoff team.
Literally, that's smallest detail.
would we like to go
changeable.
through their schedule?
We can. Let me get my shit off, and then
Sorry.
I'll be down to go through
Yeah,
their
go for it.
schedule. This is a good one to go through
Yeah.
their schedule. But something to note on the Bengals, they ended the season on a 5-game win streak. They were fighting till the very last day for that playoff spot. The offense was great all year. Joe Burrow, 5,000 yards, 40 touchdowns, Jamar Triple Crown. The defense came along a little bit. Their RBS DM, their defensive efficiency stats, in terms of EPA per play, they were the last 5 weeks of the season. They were 13th in EPA per play. Drop back EPA, they were 13th. They got to around middle of the pack to end the season. And granted, they had some cupcake matchups to end the season. Can't scoff over that, but that's NFL football. You're going to get some cupcake matchups. You're also going to get some hard matchups playing in the AFC North. But they showed last year they can hang around with these teams, with the Ravens, with the Steelers. They can obviously hang around with these teams. Will they go a perfect 6-0 in the division? Obviously not, but can they go 3-3 in the division and split the division? Absolutely. Can they go 4-2 in the division? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Can they even maybe go 5-1 in the division? Shit, why not?
You never know.
But I think,
Sheesh.
and granted, this is all under the assumption that they get shit figured out with Trey Hendrickson
Right.
Yes.
and Shamar Stewart. Both of them.
Yeah.
Because if you add Shamar Stewart, a first-round pick, next to Trey Hendrickson, looks a lot better than Trey Hendrickson by himself.
They got a rotation there, if that's the
Right?
case.
You got some guys, so it looks a lot better. One of their, under-the-radar signings, they signed my boy Oren Burks,
Yep.
who, it's kind of funny with him. He was on the Niners team that lost the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and he filled in for Dre Greenlaw and essentially lost them the Super Bowl. And this past year on the Eagles, he was the fill-in for Nakobe Dean, and
wow.
he was phenomenal throughout the playoffs, especially in the Super Bowl, and he
Vic
got
Fangio.
himself a contract. So,
Shout out.
so I think he's a cool rotational linebacker. Their secondary it's not even bad.
It's really not.
good
It's not terrible.
though.
Yeah, it's not.
Their guys just aren't technically sound. Like Cam Taylor-Britt will make he had the interception of the year. Obviously.
did, yeah.
He'll make some great plays, but he's just not technically sound. We're still waiting on I'm blanking on his name, but the safety who replaced Jesse Bates.
Jordan Battle.
No,
or
not-
Geno Stone.
Geno
They
Stone
just
was
signed
bad
Geno
last year.
Stone.
Geno Stone they signed last year.
They signed last year.
He
Jordan
was not
Battle
good.
was the second year. He's a young kid, right?
Yeah, those are the two.
Yeah, he was the guy who was the replacement for Jesse Bates. We're kind of waiting for him to kind of have that breakout and really take that role on. So if he could do that, if the secondary could just, they have a young group in the secondary.
Very young.
They have a young group in the secondary. So if you could see some internal growth there, if you get the pass rush looking a little bit stronger with just having the guys back, plus you build on the momentum that you actually had at the end of last season on the defensive side, the offense is going to do their part.
For sure.
The offense is going to do their part. And we're talking about winning 10 games instead of 9. Defense doesn't have to be great. They don't have to be a top 10
Saw
unit.
that,
Agreed.
yeah.
They don't have to be a top 10 unit. They have to be
13th.
not even just around middle of the pack. Shit, be the 17th best defense.
Yeah.
You just can't have 5 weeks to start the season where you're the 30th best
Yep.
defense. That's, to me, that's all it was. It's a hard thing to kind of bet on because that is that wasn't just last season. That's the Bengals' way in the Joe Burrow era
Yeah.
of getting off to these slow starts. But you avoid the slow start, they're a playoff lock.
Go ahead.
The momentum thing at the end of the season, I get that. My pushback to that is they fired Lou Anarumo.
Yes, that
And
was my point.
I didn't like that at all. I thought Lou Anarumo got kind of the short end of the stick. I thought he got
Shafted.
scapegoated. That's a better
Absolutely
word for it.
shafted.
So again, I have him at 9, you have him at 10. We're arguing over one game here, and we're going to go through the schedule. I hated that, and just the Bengals historically, I just don't think treat their players and personnel right. It's just it's
100%,
terrible. But
100%, yeah.
Yeah, they added Al Golden, Notre Dame defensive coordinator, to be their new DC.
which again, I said before the pod, he worked under Anarumo when they went to the Super Bowl, which seems strange to me to hire a guy from the tree of the guy you just fired. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's going to be something to see. I mean, they're going to be fun to watch. That's always something you can lock in.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with the Bengals defense last year, it wasn't to me, it wasn't much of a schematic issue. It was a personnel
I agree.
not playing well issue.
I completely agree.
Like I said, the cornerback room was so shaky last year. For every great play they made, they gave up 3 big plays right after. That's how it was. And I really do think if again, assuming the pass rushers are paid and signed and there, that group will just be better with the guys being there.
Yeah.
If the secondary cleans some things up, I really do think this defense could take a step forward.
That's fair.
And that's just all they need to get to this 10 wins.
Agreed.
That's all they need. So
All right, let's do
we
it.
run through this.
We're ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's
It's
do this.
a TikTok look like predicting the Bengals schedule.
Can you do it just like that?
Predicting the Bengals schedule. All right, so week 1. That's it, bro. You'd be like, just in the middle of the TikTok intro.
Predicting if the Bengals will go to the Super Bowl.
Predicting the Bengals 2025 schedule.
If they're going to the Super Bowl.
All right, so week 1, they travel to Cleveland to face the Browns.
This is dope.
I'll say they
dope.
win both of these. Yeah, I'll say I'm down to say they beat Cleveland twice, but
No, there's no way.
the next week they're playing against Jacksonville at home. They're home against Jacksonville.
Travis Hunter.
The Heisman.
It's going to change everything.
I think they could start 2-0.
They don't though. That's
They
that's
don't.
where
But
that's
they
what I'm worried
don't.
about.
All right,
Like,
so we'll split them.
You know, I'll give them the loss.
Yeah.
I'm down with that.
I agree.
You know what? Yeah,
I'm
because
okay
if they
with that.
lose to the Browns, then like that's it for their whole season, right?
That's
right,
it.
everybody.
That game 1 is chalk it up.
Oh, yeah.
So
No, like actually.
yeah. No, so all right. So we're going win-loss. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll give that one.
It does not get fun from here, fellas.
Gulp.
They travel to Minnesota.
Fuck.
This is a no.
That's an L.
It's an L. Okay.
They travel to Denver.
Win.
This is a win.
That's a win.
I'm going L, but
I would
Okay.
agree, but
They
that's
beat
fair.
them last year.
fair enough.
Okay, that's a better Denver team now, but
Wait. They might even. All right, now we don't.
Nah,
want
let's give them the win here against
Okay.
Denver.
Okay.
Fuck
okay,
Denver.
they're home against Detroit.
Oh, that's
Okay.
gonna be a fun one.
Okay. Because we didn't give our Detroit picks yet. Oh my God. Oh,
Yeah, I don't know.
bro, just flip a coin, man. I don't even know.
I'm gonna be honest. I wouldn't
go
be
big.
opposed to giving them the win in this one, but I wouldn't have gave them a win against Denver.
It's at
So
home, right?
They are home against.
I'll give them the W.
Let's
at
give
home
them the
against
win.
Detroit.
I'll give them the win.
Let's
Honestly,
go Bengals.
I'll give them the
Who
win.
day?
We're
Yeah.
3-2 right now.
It's gonna be. It's gonna be a
Better
hard.
than last year's start.
They travel to Green Bay.
That's an L.
That's an L.
Cool. They're home against Pittsburgh
That's a win.
in prime time.
That's a
Prime
win.
time Joe Burr.
Thursday night football.
I'm gonna
short
give them the
week.
split against Pittsburgh.
Well,
so
here's
I'll-
the thing.
yeah.
So they're traveling from Green Bay, short week against Pittsburgh, and they're home in Cincinnati. So
Raj.
I'll still give them
Primetime
the win.
Raj.
I think we're gonna split this
Yeah.
either way, so it doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
give it to the Bengals.
okay, so what do we get? We
All right.
got 4-3 right now. All right, they're home against the Jets.
That's a win.
That's a win.
5-3. They're home against the
Wait,
Bears.
Justin Fields might run that ball, man.
Nah, that's a win.
I'm outvoted, so we'll go in. But I don't know. I like
All
the
right.
Jets. Yeah.
They're home against the Bears.
Down to give the Bears this one.
Yeah, that's an L.
That confidently or like not really?
I mean, Bengals can definitely beat the Bears. It's not like.
Wait a minute.
I don't think it's.
I'm
I would have
going
gave them the
Bengals
win in
win.
this one, but again, like
I'm going,
I would have given them an L in different games.
Yeah.
So I think we'd land at 5-4 if we were to give the.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
I'm trying to be fair.
yeah.
They got to get streaky at one point. You're not going to let them go streaky from the Jets to the Bears.
All
No,
right,
they're getting streaky at the end. That's their thing.
All right,
they have
all
their bye. Their schedule sets up for that. They have their bye week, and then they travel to Pittsburgh to face the Steelers. I think this is an L.
L.
They
This is
split.
an L. So
5-5.
Okay.
Yeah, but off a bye week, they're nice, well rested.
No, we giving them because we gave them the win against Pittsburgh in the first one, so
They're
we're giving them the
splitting
split
these.
against
Okay.
Pittsburgh. That's fair.
Ooh, They still got
Trying to be fair.
They still got to play
Okay.
Baltimore twice.
Oh yeah, they're home against New England.
That's a win.
That's a win.
Oh, I'm still stuck on the last
Man,
one.
them
I think,
Drake
they beat,
boys.
I think they beat the Steelers twice, but
Okay.
against the would you say against who are they playing next?
Home against New England.
That's a win. Yeah.
Travel to Baltimore.
L.
That's an L. That's an L.
Okay,
Against
so
Baltimore,
we
yeah,
got
unfortunately,
what 7-5 or 6-6. I
It
think
was
we're
5-5 out of the bye. They beat New England out
No,
of
they
the bye.
lose to. It's 5-5 with Pittsburgh.
Okay.
6-5 New England. 6-6 Baltimore. Okay.
Okay.
Travel to Buffalo.
L.
Think they're 6-7.
They've beat them before.
They do have the Bills number though.
They've beat them
historically.
before.
I'm not.
I'll
yeah,
rock
I'm
with
I'm
you
going
guys.
win. I'm going win.
All right, then we're going
Because
win.
you guys been answering before I can lead, and I think I'm gonna
Okay.
lead this one.
Let's give
All
them the
right.
win.
I'm going
Hell
win.
yeah.
I'm going win.
all right.
7-6. Okay, they're home against Baltimore.
Going L.
I think
I'm down
they're-
with that.
I think they're losing twice to Baltimore.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
I think
I'll
they
give
lose
into that.
twice to Baltimore.
All right, so then I would agree that these last 3 games are W's in my
we're
personal
7-7
opinion.
right
We
now?
would be 10-7 at
And
this
we got to
stage.
win out.
And that's the over.
But I didn't agree with everything they said.
Me neither.
So I have 9-8. Yeah. So then the rest of this is at Miami. I think they beat the
Win.
brakes
Yes.
off
Easy.
Miami.
Yes.
Easy win.
Easy
Home
win.
against Arizona and home against Cleveland.
Easy win.
2 dubs. That's
We
a
hit the
2
over.
dubs.
3-way sweep. That's
hit
10
the
and
over.
7.
You
10
guys
and
would
7
have
for the
10 and
season.
7
We hit
exactly.
the over. Let's go.
I have 9 and 8,
Yeah.
which makes perfect sense.
What
Actually,
about 10 and 7, 9 and 8? The line's 9
it's
and a
almost
half.
like they know.
Well
How do
done,
they do it
Vegas.
every time?
They
man?
did it again.
I would jump back and say they beat the Browns and they finished 11 and 6. That's just me though.
We had them beating the Browns.
Yeah.
No, we had them losing. We had
No,
them
we had them
beating
No, we had
both
them
times.
splitting.
We had
We had them losing to
They
the
split the
Bears.
Steelers.
They split the Steelers and got swept by the
We had them
Ravens.
losing to the Bears. That's the one you didn't like.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said, no? Or
You
am
said
I
the Browns.
I meant the Bears. My bad. Yeah.
I guess.
I said I
enough.
think they beat the
I mean,
Bears.
they could beat the Bears.
I think they beat
Sure.
the Bears and it's 11 and 7, but other than that I like the list.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was
All right.
solid.
That's the Bengals.
That was the Bengals. Okay.
11
So
and 6. I said 11 and
the
7.
final team we're going to talk about is the Baltimore Ravens with an over-under win total of 11.5. The Ravens are an absolute unit every year. They're a force to be reckoned with. They had one of the greatest offensive seasons of all time last year. They had a lot of issues in their secondary. It started off really bad, then it got a little better, and then it went downhill again. Their biggest offseason acquisitions, I'll rattle them off. They signed Jair Alexander. They signed Chidobe Awuzie. Said that right? Yep.
Chidobe Awuzie, but yeah.
Awuzie, close enough. Drafted Malachi Starks, who anyone I've heard talk about him in the draft absolutely loves him. And the Ravens have a pretty good track record of drafting safeties and secondary players overall, so I'm in on Starks. They extended Derrick Henry, Rashad Bateman, Ronnie Stanley, and on the other side of the ball, they signed DeAndre Hopkins. Obviously not the Hopkins of old, but still a solid enough player. And I'll rattle off some stats here for you guys. They were first in yards per game. They were first in rushing yards per game. They were second in sacks, which is pretty surprising considering they don't have a Trey Hendrickson, a Max Crosby, or one of those guys. And they were third in fewest turnovers. So they took care of the ball, and they just scored points at an astronomically efficient rate. And you expect that to take a step back, of course, but I think their defense got a lot better. They allowed the second most passing yards per game, and they were particularly bad in zone coverage, and they got a lot of penalties. I don't have the numbers on that, but they got a ton of penalties in the secondary.
Yeah.
Personally, with their issues last year, they finished 13-4.
They
would that
had
be
12
right?
wins last year.
12 wins.
14 wins.
12
sorry.
and 5.
Wait, sorry.
14 and 3.
I got because I have a bunch of numbers here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
No.
they were 14 and 3.
They haven't had one until 2019. The improvement.
No, they were 12 and 5.
Were
Yes.
they really?
Yes, they were 12 and
Wow,
5.
They had a better season
But
than that.
I think they are better than they were last year. I think, again, the offensive production probably drops down a little bit, but I think the defense will be a lot better. I'm going with the over here. You guys know I'm a big Ravens guy, but I think they get 12, 13 wins. I'm pretty confident in that.
What do you got?
Yeah. No, so I want to make sure I got it correct with their record last year because it has to do with what I was going to say. What's the final consensus?
12 and 5.
It was 12 and 5. So looking at the Ravens this year, I don't see why they would take a step back. I honestly think that they got the line just perfect, like me and Chris keep saying right now.
Here they go again.
Vegas, man.
Stop gassing Vegas, bro. Fuck. Taking their money
Look,
this year.
last year they proved that they're a potential contender, a Super Bowl contender. And, you know, this isn't a blame Mark Andrews for dropping the ball, but had that been caught and had that went into overtime, I think that the Ravens would have won that, and I think it would have been a completely different playoff run. With that being said, I don't see why the Ravens would take a step back from last year. I'm going over 11.5, and I think they get just about 12 wins, just like they did last year. And that's really it, man. If anything, I think the sky's the limit with them. I think it's only up from here. So I'm going over 11.5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking the over too. I think this is one of the easier ones as well. It feels like every single year they're a lock for minimum 12 games when you have Lamar Jackson at quarterback. This defense is insane. Adding Jair Alexander to an already phenomenal defense is just ridiculous. Drafting Malachi Starks, drafting Mike Green. There's two of the biggest steals in the entire draft, and the Ravens just seem to do this every single year. I mean, they're loaded, and I know you're going to mention a guy later, but I got to say his name, man. Isaiah Likely's about to have a ridiculous season.
Yep.
So these boys, the Ravens might be my Super Bowl favorite altogether. So, yeah, over.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem with the Ravens, like you said, for a majority of last season, their defense wasn't too good. And I actually have it in front of me because I was just looking at it for the Bengals. But last 5 weeks of the season, they were arguably the best defense in the NFL. They figured something out when they moved Marlowe back into the slot primarily. And, I mean, he was so good that he was getting deep boy buzz, Marlon Humphrey. I didn't agree with it, but he was getting, like, legitimate deep boy buzz. And last 5 weeks of the season, they were the best-ranked defense in terms of EPA per play and in drop-back EPA per play. They really figured something out. Marlowe's one of, if not the best nickel corners in the league. You bring in a guy like Jair Alexander, which only allows you to dive more deep into that and keep Marlowe on the inside. And just the versatility of the secondary, having Marlon Humphrey, Malachi Starks, Kyle Hamilton, who could literally just move all over the field, and just do a whole bunch of different things. It's going to be crazy. And then you have two outside corners in Jair Alexander and Nate Wiggins, who are absolute straps. You have one of the better pass rushing units as a whole in the league, and just one of the better schemes in terms of generating pressure. Like you mentioned, they were first in the league in sacks, second in the league in sacks, without having one of those premier edge rushers. So yeah, I expect this defense to kind of return to Baltimore Ravens form and be a top defense for the entirety of this next season. Given health with Jair Alexander, I think they'll be fine even if he misses a few games. But for this team to reach their ceiling, they need a healthy Jair Alexander, which we haven't seen over the past few years. But, you know, like you guys mentioned, love the draft picks, love the additions they made. The offense is going to be the offense. You have Lamar and King Henry and a Todd Monken offense. Like, they're going to be one of, if not the best offenses in the league. So if this defense could pull their weight and, you know, like I talked about with the Bengals, build off their momentum to end the season last year, plus get even better with the additions, there's no reason this team shouldn't be the best team in football, honestly. So, yeah, it's an easy over for me. Like you said, one of the easier ones we've done so far.
I agree.
I think they might win the most games in the NFL, honestly.
I could totally see them winning 15 games.
Exactly. They can 100% win 15
It's just
games.
like Henry, I mean, we talked about it with Tajay Sharp. He gets better as the season goes on. Lamar somehow gets better as a passer every year, and then, you know, the playoffs come around and there's issues there. But it's just, they just get the most out of their guys. I mean, I'm looking at it. Kyle Van Noy had 12.5 sacks last year. He's, 32 years old, something like that. He was a 9 the year before that. Like, he's been a stud for them straight off the couch. So
he's 34.
Is he really?
Yeah,
Woof,
33.
Wow. Good for him, man. Nah, he literally was. He was on the couch, and they picked him up.
Bro, he was a Mutt Reward for top 100 and ranked in, like, fucking May, bro.
Wow.
They were making, like, Jimmy Graham safety cards, and my reward for top 100 was Kyle Van Noy, bro.
Wow.
He was ass, bro.
Was he actually?
Terrible. The hell am I doing with a Kyle Van Noy?
But, yeah, this Ravens team, I mean, the regular season is kind of secondary to them unless they have, like, a bad regular season. Honestly, I think 11 wins would be concerning for them.
It's their 4.
Yeah.
100%.
So, I think they're, like you said, it should be a lock for 12, 13, even 14 games. And then, you know, then we'll go from there as far as can they beat the Bills, Chiefs, and the other top dogs out there.
Off the dome right now, you guys think this is the best roster in football?
Philly is still...
Philly's still king.
Philly lost some guys.
I don't know. They got a lot.
They kept their best ones.
Oh, they got a lot better, though. I'm going with Baltimore. I'm a Ravens guy. I'm going with Baltimore. It's close.
I know they lost Slade.
The receiver room isn't great, and they've made it work over the years, but...
Right, it's like I can't even, like, worry about that.
Right, they've just made it work.
I mean? Like, I don't care that their receiver...
Right, exactly.
What, the Ravens? Oh, yeah, I don't
matter.
Yeah, but it's like when you're going up against A.J. Brown and Smitty, you know?
Yeah, that's fair.
But, like, Zay, Bateman, Andrews, and Likely just works.
Yeah.
It just works.
No, it's great. Yeah, it's great.
It's funny because also one of the best rosters in football, I feel like, is the Lions, but obviously they have a lot of unfortunate things going on in the locker room. So, like,
I don't even know if they're that anymore. But, yeah, I get it. Like,
but, yeah, definitely, like...
Ravens are up
top
for sure.
Vikings
I'll say top
sure.
2 to give me insurance, but, yeah, top 1.
Be told Vikings are up there. It's just we have questions. Like,
I was thinking about the Vikings.
Exactly. We have questions. Like,
yeah. Have to have a top of the line quarterback.
It's as easy as that.
Oh, don't worry, they do, brother. But this is the best roster in football. Yeah.
All right, we'll stay on the AFC North real quick before we move on to the NFC. These are the players that we think are going to break out this year in the AFC North. I'll get it started sticking with the Baltimore Ravens, talking about that new great secondary of the Baltimore Ravens. My breakout player is going to be Nate Wiggins. He had a great rookie season. Just some stats to throw out there. Amongst corners last year, he finished 4th with a 64.6 passer rating allowed. He was great, and the guy right above him was actually Marlon Humphrey, his teammate. But Nate Wiggins was honestly my draft crush going into last year. I just have a thing for lanky, fast cornerbacks. It's kind of my type, and he's handsome. They make so many TikTok edits out of him now, but I just think he's the modern day corner. He's kind of similar to Sauce in a way where he just covers so much ground with his lankiness, and it just helps so much going against these, it's kind of similar to basketball with wide receivers where these receivers are getting so much more skilled in terms of their route running, and having the long arms to be able to cover ground is, I just think, the ultimate advantage. Plus, he's one of, if not the fastest corners in the NFL. He ran the fastest 40 in the draft last year, so I think adding Jair Alexander next to him only makes his life easier. He's not going to have to guard the number 1 receivers every night, which, shit, you put a guy who I think is a number 1 corner in this league having to guard number two receivers, I think he's going to have his way. I think he's well on his way to a Pro Bowl caliber season, so I think Nate Wiggins is going to have a huge year.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. My breakout player for the AFC North is Roman Wilson, and it's honestly hilarious.
This is an ugly agenda.
It really is. It is a disgusting agenda, but it's an agenda that I'm gonna die on the hill of. I think Roman Wilson, especially him coming out of Michigan, I liked the prospect a lot. He was a 3rd-round pick that did not play much last year, and number 1, Mike Tomlin doesn't like to play rookies in the first place, and number 2, he got hurt to start his rookie season. He never really got the chance to hit the ground running, and he had a great final season in Michigan, and there is some draft capital. Like I said, there's a 3rd-round pick here, and there's a lot, and I mean a lot of opportunity in that Steelers wide receiver room. So I think Roman Wilson is the guy. I think he's a big-time breakout candidate, and he's going to be Aaron Rodgers' number 2 this year. So,
all right, very nice. So my breakout player this year is going to be Isaiah Likely. We saw some phenomenal things go on with him last year. Getting less playing time than Mark Andrews, pretty much kind of trying to fight for that playing time. And I do think that this year, Isaiah Likely is going to get more opportunity than he did last year. Mark Andrews obviously had more opportunities to get more touchdowns. He had more targets. And he had more, and for that reason, he also had more touchdowns. We saw Isaiah Likely becoming more of a favorite later in the season, especially in the red zone. And I think that's going to carry into the beginning of this season in 2025. So I genuinely feel that I don't think that Mark Andrews is going to take a step back, but I do think Isaiah Likely is going to take like a leap forward. And I'm really, really excited to see it. I know you are as well.
I love Isaiah Likely.
So my breakout player is going to be Isaiah Likely this year, and I can't wait to see it.
Love me some Likely, man. My breakout player, I audibled off. I'm going with Payton Wilson from the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think he's an absolute athletic phenom. This is a guy that he ran a 4.43 40-yard dash in the combine as a linebacker. I mean, I saw this guy's highlights on TikTok. I thought he was playing wide receiver, man. He is an absolute freak of nature. Landon Roberts is gone. That's the guy who was starting over him. I think that signifies that Mike Tomlin has faith in Payton Wilson. I think he complements Patrick Queen really well. And I just love the athletic tools that this guy has. He can play and run sets. He can play in pass coverage. He can tackle. Mm-hmm. He's got a high motor. He fits the Steelers culture really well. I love Payton Wilson. I think he's primed for a big year.
You want to know a quick fun fact about Payton Wilson?
Go ahead.
One of his knees doesn't have an ACL.
How's that possible?
He had two surgeries on the same knee.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Wow.
From high school to college, this man was like so damn injury prone.
Really?
Yeah, very injury prone.
Interesting. He played all 17 last year.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So love Payton Wilson. So shout out the NC State Wolfpack guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. We're moving on now. We're gonna shift some gears. We have a whole nother division to talk about. We said the AFC North. Now we got to talk about the NFC North. A division that, quite frankly, has 2, maybe 3, maybe 4 Super Bowl contenders in the future. A lot of variance here and a lot of differing opinions. I'm curious as to how we feel about this first one with the most change this offseason.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears finished in 2024 with a 5-12 record, undergoing a 10-game losing streak in the middle of the season there before they finished their last game with a win over Green Bay.
Brutal.
A lot of roster turnover, though.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. You bring in a guy like Ben Johnson to be your new head coach. You completely overhaul that offensive line. You bring in Drew Dahlman. You bring in Joe Tooney, and you bring in Jonah Jackson to solidify one of, if not the best interior offensive line groups in the entire NFL. And then you bring in some more skill position players through the draft, because why not? You had DJ Moore, Rome Odunze already, but why not go get a Colson Loveland, who's the best tight end prospect in the draft? Why not go get Luther Burden? So I think this offense is looking really strong. They had a great defensive personnel going into last season too. So Bears win total is set at 8.5. What are we rocking with, the over or the under?
Well, clearly the books are leaving in our hands the choice of, are they going to be a winning team or losing team this season? And that's by one game, a trend that we've been seeing. I think there will be a winning team this year by a brink of it, though. I'm going 9 wins, 7 losses this season. 9 wins, 8 losses this season.
There it is.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Ben Johnson's going to bring a whole different culture to this team, and I see a healthy season with the Bears coming from Caleb Williams. I think he can really kind of only be better than he was last year. I know a lot of people were slightly underwhelmed with his performance, but I think they're also forgetting that, being a rock star in college is different than being a rookie in the NFL. So I think his second season magic as second season magic for Caleb Williams is gonna hit home for them, and I think Ben Johnson is exactly what they needed to tie this team together. I'm taking the over here, and that's just winning 9 games. I don't think any more than that.
Yeah,
No more than
he had
that.
to deal with one of the worst coaching situations in the league last year.
And still won 5 games.
He started with Flus at his head coach, and then his offensive coordinator became his head coach, and then his offensive coordinator got fired, I think, and the passing game coordinator got promoted.
It was
a mess. Like it was some crazy stuff. So I'll just give my quick thoughts on this, though. I think, yeah, they made a ton of improvements. I completely agree. But here's the thing. It's an incredibly tough division, and there's a lot of roster turnover here, especially in offense and coaching staff turnover. Pretty much an entire overhaul here. Like, that's what we're looking at. So I still think there's a lot of improvement to be made this year, but I think they fall just short of their line. I'm going to take the under. I think they win 8 games.
Any other division,
Not mad at that, honestly.
smashing the over. I still might take the over, but I love the changes they made. I mean, obviously, we're talking about hiring Ben Johnson, the draft picks, trading for Tooney and Jonah Jackson, I think was huge for them. Caleb was underwhelming last year. I think that's fair to say, but he was also running for his life. He had no consistency, no safety net. They had no run game. They had the 8th fewest rushing yards per game. They had the 2nd fewest passing yards per game. And like I said, some of that falls on Caleb. He's now with the best offensive coordinator in football. So you hope he can hone in some of his own issues there. He's got an elite weapons room, I'd say. And I think the second-year leap is really there for Caleb Williams. So I'm gonna go with the over here. Again, I think 9. I think they can get to 10. I think they really can get to double-digit wins, man. This is a super, super talented group. And I get what you're saying about the turnover, and they might not mesh together as well with the new coaching staff and all. But, hey, man, that's what the offseason's for. So I'm going to hope they get some of that together. But, yeah, I love the offensive line improvements. Defense was solid, but Caleb was, like I said, running for his life out there. And I think him being more comfortable with the coaching staff, more comfortable with the offensive line, having a better run game, because we know damn well Ben Johnson can scheme up a run game with a great interior offensive line especially. I think having that comfortability is going to be huge for Caleb, and I'm going to take the over.
So, yeah, I just noticed something. Dude, the Bears haven't had a winning season since 2018.
Yeah,
where they won 12 games.
Yeah,
like
they're
2019, 2020, they won 8 games.
That was the year.
So you're saying they're due?
I think they're due.
I don't know if that's how it works, brother.
Yeah. Well, my thinking really is like, they got to be sick and tired of this shit and just want to see a winning season.
They're definitely
And-
sick and
Well,
tired.
their fans are. I'll tell you that
Yeah.
much.
And clearly they did everything they can, literally everything they possibly could to make this a winning season. And I think they're due. Because, like I said, they haven't had a winning season since 2018. Dude, give that 3 more years. That's 10 fucking years of not having a winning season. I think this is their year. So I just want to throw that out there. A little useful information.
Throw that shit, bro.
Yeah.
I think real quick before you go, I think beating the Packers in the last game of the season to snap the 10-game winning streak is symbolic. They never beat the Packers.
Yeah.
You know? So
10-game losing. Yeah.
10-game losing streak, yeah.
I just, I don't know, man. Go
Let's
ahead.
see what Chris
I'm
got.
curious.
It's very simple for me. It was a dumpster fire in Chicago last year. It was real ugly. And they costed a lot of people a lot of goddamn money because a lot of people were taking there over last year.
People took them as a Super Bowl bet.
They did.
Nick Wright.
Nick
did
Wright's dumbass.
Yeah.
They did.
Shout out
People
to
were
him.
all over the Bears last year. But this was not a talent issue. Talent was not the reason for their struggles last year. It was a terrible infrastructure, and we overlooked it. We overlooked Matt Eberflus. We overlooked Shane Waldron being a
Yep.
not good.
We all know what you're
offensive
thinking.
what you're
coordinator.
We know the
thinking,
word
yeah.
you're
Shane
thinking.
Waldron not being a good offensive coordinator. We all overlooked it. I don't know. I was obviously the highest on the Bears, but we were all believed in them to some extent, and the infrastructure was just not good. You replace that with Ben Johnson. This was the guy. There was no other option for them. It was Ben Johnson or bust. We said it on this podcast so many times, and they delivered. And that makes me have faith in them, that they saw that it was one guy who could turn this thing around, and they made sure they got that guy. And we know how great Ben Johnson is. Had just offensive coordinated the best offense in football last year, one of the best offenses in football last year. Completely revived Jared Goff's career. Ben Johnson could do that with Jared Goff. Imagine what he could do with a generational quarterback prospect in Caleb Williams. Because I still believe. They called me crazy a few months ago when I said it. That I said Caleb Williams still has the potential to be the best quarterback in the NFL one day. I still believe in it. And what better guy to get that out of him than Ben Johnson? One of the amazing Caleb Williams stats from last year in his ugly, terrible, atrocious rookie season. An amazing stat. 354 straight passes without an interception.
Really?
354 straight passes without an interception.
Completions?
No.
Pass
Attempts.
attempts without an
Yeah.
interception. That's hella impressive.
That is crazy.
For a rookie
yeah.
quarterback,
impressive,
it's the
yeah.
longest streak of a rookie quarterback ever in the history of football. It's
That
hella
says-
impressive.
That says a lot. Yeah.
For a guy who, his calling card is making something out of nothing, his improvisability, just doing crazy shit. And we saw a lot of flashes of that crazy shit. To be able to protect the ball the way he did was super impressive. And that leads me to believe that we'll see that going forward with Caleb. We'll see him be able to protect the ball. The problem with Caleb was the sacks.
Yeah.
Holding on to the ball too long. And I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, Caleb Williams is going to not hold on to the ball too long. Because that's who he is. And Ben Johnson knows that. And Ben Johnson isn't going to try and... Sure, he's going to try and get the ball out of Caleb's hands a little bit quicker. And his time to throw will go down because of design plays and stuff around the line of scrimmage to get the ball out quick. But Caleb, to be Caleb, he's going to extend plays. He's going to roam out of the pocket. He's going to hold on to that ball. That's who Caleb is. But why it all changes is because Caleb went from playing with a bottom 5 offensive line group to a top 5 offensive line group. It's that simple. That much of a change within the offensive line is going to be so huge for this team. The change in the play calling is going to be so huge for this team. We know they're talented. Everyone knows they're talented. They were talented last year, and they got arguably more talented along the edges with their draft picks. To me, they're top 15 defense at worst. They're top half defense at worst. They have the potential to be a top 10 defense. They have the infrastructure on that side of the ball to be a top 10 defense. We've seen it before. They have a guy who any given season could be the best cornerback in all of football, and Jalen Johnson hanging on the wall right there. They have the infrastructure on the defensive side. They're going to take a massive leap on the offensive side of the ball. I believe in Caleb Williams taking that next level jump and asserting himself into he'll easily be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL by the end of the season, but he'll be inching up there in that 8-9, 8-7 range, and the Bears easily smash 8.5 wins.
range.
It'll be like 6-7.
Like 6-7.
But yeah, I think the Bears hit this 8.5 over under.
I think it's all great points, and I'm with you. I just think this is going to take a year. I think this is going to be a solid season. I think it may start off a little slow. This is a team that I'm actually curious to go through their schedule.
I was looking at it. The end of their schedule was rough. I mean, they're just going to have a rough schedule playing in the NFC North.
Yeah,
They have a tough schedule.
and that's kind of part of the reason why I think like this is just 1 year too early. I just think the offensive line overhaul is amazing, and it's still got to gel too. That all has to come together. The whole coaching staff implementing a brand new system. Usually these guys not struggle in their first year with it, but it's a little bit of an acclimating period, and then the second year they kind of hit the ground running. I think that's what's going to happen with Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson. I think he shows ridiculous signs of improvement this year. But it's almost like you read my mind, the whole timing aspect. Ben Johnson with Jared Goff, it was a match made in heaven because it was, this is the play, these are the reads, you're going to hit this guy at this exact moment. Will Caleb do that? I hope so. And if he does,
It's going to be a mix of both.
Yeah, he's a much different quarterback
He
than
is.
Jared Goff.
That's
so
what I'm saying.
Ben has
And
to adjust.
I think, but that's part of what Ben Johnson's superpower is. He draws up
They both got to adjust to each other. in some way.
100%.
For sure.
100%. And I think if it was, like you said, any other division, I would take the over, and I know you took the over, but any other division I'd be down for. But since it's the NFC North and this is hell, I'd take the under just by a game. But I think they'll be super competitive.
You think they win 8 games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
That's fair.
So,
Vegas at it again, man.
Yeah.
Perfect
Okay,
line
yeah.
once again.
yeah, so one of the teams in this division, and I say it's a coin flip because it all relies on one guy. The quarterback position, as we all know, is the most important in all of football. And the Vikings have one that has never actually played a regular season snap in the NFL. So they're on two sides of the coin. This either becomes one of the best teams in the NFL, as they were last year with Sam Darnold, and potentially even reach a new level and become a Super Bowl contender, or J.J. McCarthy isn't the guy that they thought they were getting when they drafted him in the top 10 picks in the NFL draft, and it all falls apart. So Vegas played the middle. Over under 8.5. What do we got? Tom, get us started.
You nailed it. It really does just come down to J.J. McCarthy. And I like J.J. McCarthy, and this Vikings team won a bunch of games last year. So it's not even like, oh, they won 10 games. Can McCarthy, he's not going to he has to get basically what Sam Darnold did. But Darnold was 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 12 picks.
Yep.
He had a top 10 season at quarterback in the NFL. They are one of the best rosters in the league on paper, but they still got Jonathan Allen, Byron Murphy, Javon Hargrave. On the other side of the ball, they signed Rondale Moore, and they drafted Donovan Jackson in the first round. So they got even better. And, we all know the saying about a Kevin O'Connell offense is basically anyone can step in there and do their thing at quarterback, and I get that, but it's just so tough when the kid hasn't played a snap at the pro level. So all that being said, oh man, this is brutal, dude. I'm gonna take the over at 8.5. It's brutal. This is just too talented of a roster. Brian Flores put out an elite defense last year, and I think if there is a situation where a rookie's going to succeed, it's one where there's really not. There is pressure because they want to win games and they want to be competitive in the NFC, but his life is made easier. The Vikings offensive line is a great unit. He's obviously got the best receiver in football. They had a good run game last year, and they have a great defense. So his job, I think, is as easy as it could be. So I'm gonna take the over here.
Yeah, I think you couldn't have brought up any better point other than this roster being what it is. It's very hard to look at this and say this is a team that's going to be under when the only red flag, which really isn't even red, it's like greenish yellow, is J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
Because we clearly know he's a talented guy. We just haven't seen him play yet.
Right.
And we do know that Jordan Addison, Hawkinson, got Jordan Mason out there. They are going to carry a lot in this offense. And I know it all starts at quarterback, but I don't think we're looking at like a shitty rookie that we're taking a chance on. I think we're we're taking our chances on a rookie that has proven himself to play elite college football. And like I know I said with Caleb Williams, obviously it's a little bit hard your first year in the season, first year in the NFL, but I think JJ McCarthy has had, I know he was injured, but I think he had a year to kind of understand what the league's about. And he might get a nice good old NFL hit in game 1, but once he shakes that off, I think it'll be a healthy season, and I think they'll just have a winning season because of their roster. Okay. I'm gonna go over 8.5, winning 9 games.
Okay.
Come on. I mean, come on. This is the same guy that thinks that J.J. McCarthy is the absolute dude. I mean, where are we going with this? Mm-hmm. It's an over and it's a smash over. It's not even remotely close for me. We were talking about some of the easier ones. This was one of the easier ones. This is one of the most talented rosters in the entire NFL, top to bottom. There really isn't too much of a weakness. I think they, outside of just their weapons and one of the best O-lines of football, going to the other side of the ball, one of the best pass rushes in all of football, and it's a rotation. Andrew Van Ginkel, just over and over, one of the most severely underrated players in the entire league. And then the only question mark is the secondary. And I think Brian Flores just gets the most out of everybody on his defense almost all the time. And they made a signing. This, to most people, this doesn't mean much. But Chris, your boy, one of your friends, Isaiah Rodgers, is now a Minnesota Viking.
That's my dog.
That is your dog. He doesn't like Philly cheese. He doesn't like anything.
Or steak.
He doesn't like anything.
Like shepherd's pie.
Bland.
Yep. You know what he likes? Playing in that Minnesota secondary and the Brian Flores defense. So, no, this is easy for me. I think J.J. McCarthy has a ridiculous first season of starting in the NFL. I think you got the chance to sit, watch, and here it is.
Drop a stat line.
Ooh. Okay.
Doesn't have to be like perfect, just a ballpark.
4,100, 28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
10 interceptions.
That's good, man.
4,100,
that's
28
good.
and 10. Yep. They win 12 games.
That's aggressive quarterback play.
Wow.
Yeah. JJ's that dude. I can't wait to see this one.
Yeah, go ahead.
And Chris,
Wait,
I want you
what was the stat line?
Yeah, I was going to say, and I want you to drop
wait.
your stat line, Chris.
What was the stat line you said?
4,100, 28, 10.
28 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of balls in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, I know JJ didn't have a super high volume passing attack in college, but I mean, man, like whenever it was time to make the big throws, he was the most efficient passer on third downs. He actually was the best passer in all of college football on third and longs as well. He's ridiculous. Like JJ actually has some serious arm talent. He's got wheels. Like very underrated. I'm all in. I've been all in. I wanted the Giants to take him, and I love JJ McCarthy.
If they have a winning season, they're going to need 28 passing touchdowns from JJ. Combining Jordan
Mason,
Mason.
Yeah.
Jordan
and
Mason.
Aaron Jones, two
and
really
Aaron
good running
Jones
backs.
To really, I don't even think they need 28 passing touchdowns from him to do that with them two in the backfield, honestly. But if he does do that, I mean, they're going to clear that over 8.5.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So you're going over, I'm assuming, or if you already said that.
I am, absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, the Vikings last year were 8-1 in one-score games. The last time the Vikings were really good in one-score games was 2022, where they were 11-0 in one-score games. They finished the season 13-4. The next season they finished 7-10. Little historical trend action for you. This really should be an easy over, though. They have the infrastructure there around him. They got better within that infrastructure, especially, along the trenches. You bring in 2 offensive linemen, you bring in 2 interior defensive linemen. So, anytime a team improves along the trenches is always a plus. Get deeper in those positions. If they were able to do it with Sam Darnold, they should be able to do it with another unknown, unproven guy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how much I believe in J.J. McCarthy.
I'm with you there.
I don't know if I have to believe in J.J. McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
I believe in the infrastructure around them to win regular season games. I also, the same shit with the Bears applies to the Vikings as well. It's a dogfight of a division where they held their own last year and they had 2 free wins over the Bears last year, which aren't going to be free wins this year. So makes it a little bit tougher. I don't know, man.
CJ Stroud, his rookie year, went for 4,123 touchdowns and 5.
Well,
And the Texans won 10 games. I'm just
yes,
throwing that out
this
there.
is his rookie year. It's not. Like he got the chance to already learn the system, sit there, watch, and just understand what it's like to be a pro and prepare for an NFL
Yeah,
game
but it's not
already.
like he sat as a backup. Like he was in rehab and
Yeah,
you know what I
for
mean.
sure.
Like
No,
I'm not
get
saying
it.
that that's definitely an advantage. Like don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
but
but he's still got he's
just a
still
high
got the
bar.
chance.
That's just a high bar, man.
It is. It definitely is. But like I said, I fully believe in JJ, and if this is another situation, I probably feel differently about JJ. But since it's almost
KOC,
as perfect
yeah.
of a situation as it possibly can be for a quarterback, I feel good about it.
Yeah.
So, Sam was unreal last year. I don't think he'll match those numbers quite yet, but I think he's gonna have a great year.
JJ's very lucky to be stepping into the NFL with this roster. Like,
Yeah.
Right, like I
If-
said,
if
it's
he
definitely
can't-
set up for him to
Yeah, if-
succeed.
if he can't do it with these guys, I don't think he's
Yeah, get him out of the
gonna
league.
have much
It
success
may start
anywhere
slow.
else, you know?
It may start slow.
It might start slow, and keep in mind, I'm worried about the health of him as well, because he's coming off a fairly bad injury. Like
Tormented,
we're
yeah.
forgetting about that too. Like we're like, oh, he's gonna have a great season. Like, dude, is he gonna? Let's hope he's healthy this whole season. Like knock on wood for real, man. Like, I don't wish.
Yeah.
That concerns me as well too. But I with the healthy
What's his
season,
recovery like too? Like is how recovered is he? You know.
Yeah.
Never know what we're gonna see, and who's even.
And obviously, like within the organization, they're going to say he's coming along and he's fine.
Of course,
they're
yeah.
not,
We never
Right.
really know.
Right, they're not going to say anything.
And
You
who's
won't
the
know till you
backup?
see
They,
him out
right,
there.
they won't know until he steps foot on the
Right.
on the
Yep.
field. But
Yo, well, he
Thanks.
better be ready from the jump because they are not taking it slow in terms of scheduling with these boys. Like, their first 2 games are in prime time, Monday Night Football and Sunday Night Football.
Wow. Okay.
So we're going to
crazy.
know pretty
Monday
early.
Night Football against the Bears.
Yeah, Monday Night Football against the Bears in
The
Chicago.
Bears.
In Chicago,
In Chicago.
that's a
We're
rough
gonna
first
know
game, dude.
very
That's
quickly.
a rough first game, bro.
We're going to know
Look,
very
dude.
quickly
Yeah.
how good JJ McCarthy
I think they lose
can
game
be.
1.
And it just feels like 9 wins is such a low
Slow bar, yeah.
for this team. Given
Proud-
what
great
they
to
did
Still, it's a
last-
winning season. Like that's hard to accomplish.
It is
you
hard
know?
to accomplish. It's just like shit. They
Do we
won
want to go through the schedule?
14 of them
No, I don't
last
think-
year with
Oh,
Darnold. We could
no.
go through.
I'd
the
like
Vikings
this one.
schedule.
We can look
I
through it
just there's so
quickly.
much variance with JJ. Like we can go through it. I don't care. but
Actually,
that's just my thing.
I think it'll look good for a talk. A lot of people want to see how.
Yeah,
Sure.
where we
All
think
right.
we don't have
Vikings
to do
are
with
gonna
every
be.
team. I like the Vikings. Well, I haven't even decided if I'm going over under, so this will determine if I'm going
Cool.
over under. So
Perfect. If you want to give us a little hook.
Predicting the Minnesota Vikings 2025 schedule. All right, so we start off in primetime Monday Night Football. JJ McCarthy, what you got in Chicago?
the Bears take this one, 0-1.
I think the Bears take it. I think they start off their season stronger than the Vikings do.
yeah, game 1 off a torn meniscus. I'm gonna give him an L here.
288, 3 tuds, a 14-point victory for JJ and the
Okay, bro.
Vikes.
I really hope so, but
week 2, they're at home versus Atlanta.
Dub.
It's a win. I'll give them that one.
that's a win.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did we give Cincinnati this win? Because this is now Minnesota at home versus Cincinnati.
No, we gave the Vikings.
Yeah, we
the
get-
win.
We
Yeah.
alternated. We kept alternating.
We gave the Vikings the win.
Okay.
Yeah.
2-1. They are again at home versus Pittsburgh. Wait, this is an early game, so this might be a London game.
I think they beat Pittsburgh.
I was gonna say Raj back in Minnesota.
I think
This
they
is
beat Pittsburgh.
I think this is a London game.
Dude,
I'm gonna go L here. I'm gonna take the Steelers.
Dublin, Ireland here.
Oh yeah,
Oh, and Dublin, bro.
Mickey Rooney.
That's
the
I think that
JJ
might
McCarthy's
actually-
homeland,
Oh, really?
bro.
Oh.
I think it is JJ's homeland, but it also is. I think I don't know why, but I think Ireland has big Steeler fans.
because the Rooneys are.
Yeah,
Or
Yeah,
that might be a
Who
Steelers
is-
home game. To be quite honest with you.
100%, But JJ Irish as fuck, bro. McCarthy.
Yeah.
yeah.
The
That's
Rooney
his
family. Yeah.
homeland, bro.
Yeah, but the Rooney family's hella Irish, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
But I'm going the Steelers. But you guys discuss.
I think I know what we're gonna say here.
I'm gonna ride
say-
you. I'm gonna ride you.
Hell yeah.
Let's
Okay.
go with the
I'm
Steelers.
going Vikings, but I'm outvoted here.
I was actually okay
The
with
thing
giving
is,
this to
my
the
heart
Steelers.
of hearts wants this to end on the under. So
True.
All right.
He bet on Aaron Rodgers to get this to the under. Just think about that.
Okay.
Think about how crazy that is.
But he
Yeah.
bet Aaron Rodgers too.
Or
He just bet on Aaron Rodgers to get the
Beat them.
Vikings to the under.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how much traveling this is, but they go from, I guess I don't know my geography. They go from Dublin to London, and they face the Cleveland Browns.
this is a win.
No, it's the
This
Browns.
is a
Yeah.
W.
That's
Yeah, I
a
don't really
win,
care
yeah.
about the travel.
Yeah. No. I mean.
All right, next is the bye week, and they come off the bye week, and they get to face Philly, but they're home.
This is an L.
L.
against
What is
Philly?
their record right now?
They would be 3-3.
Yikes.
They would be 3-3 at this moment. They travel to LA to face the Chargers.
L.
Ooh.
I think this is an
I'm
L.
going
too.
L.
I think this is a
I
dub.
I think this is a dub. Clearly, even in the last second, you guys feel the same. I keep having a different opinion.
Thursday night football.
I think they win that.
We could give them the win.
What?
I'm okay.
No,
with
no. If you guys don't feel that way, obviously majority vote wins. But
I mean,
Oh,
it's
it's
2-2.
2-2, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We could give them
all
a
right.
win here.
Well,
All right.
you're
Uh,
the tiebreaker.
I'll-
We'll take the next
All
one.
right.
We'll take the next tiebreaker.
You got it. We can't go
So
take
they're-
all the 50-50.
They're 4-3.
Right.
The next week they travel to Detroit.
That's an L.
4-4.
That's an L.
They are home against Baltimore.
That's an L.
Probably an L.
an L.
4-5. They are home against Chicago. That's a W.
Coming off a 2-game losing streak.
So we said they lose
Yeah,
against.
we give them this.
I'll give them W. Yeah.
I think they get better and then they come back and win.
because they lost week.
Yeah.
We gave them the L week one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Okay.
give them
Let's give them the W.
5-5. Okay, so Green Bay in Green Bay.
This is an L.
L.
5-6.
That confidently?
Yeah.
They're splitting.
We're going to split it
Actually,
anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna split it.
Josh Jacobs is scary this season. All right.
Scary.
Yeah.
They're gonna-
Travel to. I agree with you.
Yep.
Travel to Seattle. I think this is a dub.
Sure.
That's a win. Yeah.
6-6.
Sam Darnold's revenge.
Oh my God.
They
Or
gave
does-
up on him.
Well, yeah, but or does
Or they
JJ
just murder him.
Exactly. Or do they just
They might just
absolutely
kill him.
They say you costed us a chance at a deep playoff run. You're fucked.
They gave up on him, bro. Sam Darnold's
did.
revenge.
But
I like
I'm not
that
afraid.
for the storyline. I don't even really believe in Seattle, but for the storyline, Sam Darnold's revenge would be sick.
Seattle got Cooper
That would
Kupp
be
too, bro.
that would be great lore.
They got your boy,
They got
bro.
my boy Cooper
Kupp's your
Kupp.
dog.
Or
Who you rocking with?
as the people may say, Jake Cup or Jake Paul or Cooper Paul.
How do you spell iCup?
I go. Nah.
What's the? I gave the Seahawks for the storyline. You're going with the Vikings. What are you going with, Pete?
Shit, man. Shit.
Shit, man.
Shit, man.
Shit.
Come on, man. The Sam Darnold revenge game is
Come on.
sick.
No. You know they're winning this one. They're going to be 6-6 in this game. Don't make it 5
my God.
7.
I'm going with the Vikings. I'm going with the Vikings. Their defense wins this game.
6-6. All right.
5-7 would have been poetic.
5-7 would have been
Yeah.
bad because of Sam Darnold too.
6-6. Now they're at home. They face Washington. I think this is a dub.
This is a no. We just gave them Seattle.
Washington.
This
Bro,
is-
we're not
Washington's
giving them-
like
Really?
that. Washington was a game away from the Super Bowl last year.
Washington is
Actually,
gonna,
no, yeah,
Washington is
what
going
the
to come
fuck am I
back down
saying?
to earth this year.
I
bro.
deeply
Relax.
apologize. Washington is winning this game.
Washington
Let's
is not as
go.
good as you
Yeah,
think they
Washington
are.
wins this.
W commies.
W.
Yeah.
W
Well,
commies.
let's go. All right. I forgot about our boy Jaden Daniels. That
Can't
is-
wait for
that is
everyone to
I saw
overhype
his
the
jersey
fucking
as
Commanders this year.
It's like
As
we're
you-
overhyping the Vikings.
We're not
It's like
overhyping them.
JJ's
They're
going-
fucking 6-7 right
Said
now,
he's
bro.
going for
You said
what?
4,000 yards.
4,000. You're right. It's not overhyping. That's accurate. I'm actually
That's overhyping.
not overhyping. He's gonna have more than that. So, next up, they travel to Dallas to face the Cowboys.
Wayne.
W.
We give them the win here.
Yeah. Fuck the Cowboys.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to give them a win in this one. It doesn't make me happy. They travel to New York, MetLife Stadium, and they face us.
Win by 40.
The face
Man,
of the
that
Giants.
Giants D-line might have JJ seeing ghost.
No,
It's
they
a
wouldn't.
win.
I'll give it
a
to the
win.
Vikings.
You're trying. I respect
8-7.
it.
Okay, so now they're home versus Detroit on Christmas Day.
Oh.
Oh, Christmas Day is Jared Goff's favorite.
No,
day of the year.
it's actually JJ McCarthy's favorite time of the year. He's gonna meditate Christmas morning, ball out Thursday night football.
It's in
That's
Minnesota?
That's gonna be the funnest game
It
ever.
is in
Is Minnesota dome?
Wait, Christmas Day.
Minnesota is in a dome.
Oh. W.
That's an
Jared
L.
Goff.
W. Jared Goff.
Yeah, W. Jared Goff.
Day,
Come on.
Santa
So
Yeah.
they
Christmas
get
Day.
swept by Detroit.
Christmas
Yes.
Day in a dome? Sure.
Dude, that's gonna be such a fun game to watch on Christmas. I'm
Oh my
so
God.
We
Open-
can't always split the divisional
Yeah.
matchups.
Opening my
Detroit takes
presents with
this
some
one.
hot chocolate.
I'm like, I didn't even
Spike
make
the
a
hot
pick.
chocolate?
I didn't even make a pick because I'm so excited for this game. Like,
Make a pick.
I don't even want to because I'm so excited to watch it.
All right, well,
All right,
You guys pick.
whatever. 8-8, and the final game they're at home against Green Bay.
They win. Green Bay got it the first time, not the last.
I took the over. I'm giving them the win.
They
I'll
Give
put it
him the
this
win.
way.
I give him the win.
I'll put
Okay.
it this way: they're either gonna beat the Lions or the Packers. They're not
It's
gonna lose both.
close, so-
They're
It's
not gonna
close.
lose
Nah,
both.
it's super close.
It's very close.
Like, I don't
think-
see him winning more than 10.
Yeah?
I don't.
I see them winning 11.
Wait, and if they beat the Packers, that clears them at 9, which was my
Yeah,
over
that's
8.5.
the over.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm happy with
I'm a
that.
rock with the over,
Yeah.
but I think it is really close because I think
is
some of
way
those
too
games
close.
aren't.
That is way too close for my comfort. It might actually be the under.
They were what 14-3 last year.
It might be the under because of the last
They
two
had the
games.
football gods on their sides, bro. They were fucking 8-1 in one-score games.
Yeah,
Dude.
but now they have the football.
Sam Darnold
god
was
on
the
their
clutch,
side.
had the clutch gene.
Yeah, but JJ does too.
How do we know that?
No, but we do.
We just don't.
This man has won everywhere he's been, every single place. He's gonna do the same thing.
It's a
in the
different
NFL.
world.
No, but it's not.
No, it is. I
I
promise,
promise you, it's not.
All
Not
right.
for JJ, not for them.
It just is. Tell Jamarcus Russell that. Oh wait, whoa,
Well,
I can't-
Jamarcus
whoa, I
Russell
can't go
sucked.
there. I forgot. That's
don't bring
Jamarcus up, all right, brother?
That's a sore subject.
Tua won everywhere in his life before he got to the NFL.
The worst take you've ever had in your
Oh
life,
yeah,
all right?
yeah, my bad.
Fuck you.
So, after looking at that schedule, we look at another schedule. The Lions with the second hardest schedule in the NFL this season. Now, we got the line. FanDuel has the line at 10.5. Before the pod, I said I want to go under. But I've changed my mind. I'm going to go over. Last year, they finished 15-2 with an extremely impressive season. This offseason, we've seen a lot of ugly things change with their coaching. I don't think that that's going to cause them to lose more than 4 games than they won last year. I think they learned a lot from what they've done in the past couple of years, and I think they take that into this season. I don't think they go 15-2. I think that was a very impressive season. That's not going to happen again this year, but I think they have the talent to still at least win 11 games and be a dominant team in the NFL. I know the coaching locker room says otherwise, but we're forgetting about these weapons that they have in their team. When we think the coaching is everything. Coaching is very important. It's the backbone of a team, but we're forgetting about the talent on this team. And I think that the fact that the bookies are even putting the line at 10.5 when they had a 15-2 season is kind of crazy. I think it's right where it should be, but so it's not crazy. But I think they clear it with 11 wins.
I'm sorry, I'm going to go
ahead,
before
yeah,
you
yeah.
because I'm going to play devil's advocate
Go
for
ahead.
this because I did take the under for the Detroit Lions. And this hurts. I've been a big Detroit Lion believer for a very long time, but there's just so much going against them this season. And I'm not saying this is going to be a bad football team. I am just saying that 11 wins after all of this, we're talking about
After all
Aiden. After all that, exactly. An Aiden Hutchinson injury that, are we sure he's going to be able to come back at 100%? That's one of the most gruesome injuries we've seen.
Yeah, I was tough to watch. Forgot
Amon
about
Ra
that.
just came back from a knee surgery. Probably going to be just fine. I think it was just the cleanup procedure or whatever it was. But outside of that, you had an entire, we're not just talking about like one coordinator got poached, an entire staff overhaul. You lost both your coordinators in Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, and then additionally you lost Terrell Williams, defensive line coach, Antoine Randall, receivers coach, JT Barrett, assistant quarterbacks coach, Steve Hyde, and oh my God, like almost all of your offensive staff is gone. And outside of that, you also lost a few key pieces on your offensive line, one of which, and I feel like I've said this ad nauseum at this point, all-pro, probably future Hall of Famer Frank Ragnow, that made all the line calls. This is a lot. This is a lot to lose in one off season and continue to be an 11, 12-win football team. So I think it's too much to overcome at this point. I do see a 10-win season. Again, right there on the line, but I got the under.
I agree. I like I was going to say 10 wins myself. It's just it's tough for them, man. Like you said, they lost their entire coaching staff, OC, DC, and then a bunch of guys under them. Frank Ragnow retiring is a big deal. They did sign DJ Reed. replaced Carlton Davis with DJ Reed, which was a really good move. But this is a unit that allowed the third most passing yards per game. And they were beat up last year. They were banged up. They're especially on the defensive side of the ball, and they still won 15 games. So it's
42 running around in that playoff.
yeah. It was tough. It was tough for them in the
fuck was that guy?
No idea. It was brutal for them in the injury department, man. They also allowed the 5th fewest rushing yards per game, which sounds really good, but I think that's also a product of them being so bad against the pass that teams just didn't have to run the ball against them. And they scored the most points per game in the NFL. So I just think the offense is due for regression. You lost the best offensive coordinator in football. That has to matter. And if they can't be the absolute wagon that they are on offense, I'm not saying they're going to be a bad offense. I still think they'll be a really good offense, but they have to make some serious strides on the defensive side of the ball. So I'm gonna hover around that 10-win area and take the under.
Yeah, I mean, I think defensively they were making those strides till everyone on the entire roster got hurt.
Yep.
But lose both. I mean, I'm just beating the dead horse here, but you lose both your coordinators and you lose your All-Pro center. It's just tough to overcome that. I mean, think back to those 2023 Eagles who lost both their coordinators. They had a rough go at it, and it's just 11 wins is a lot of wins, especially in this division. I just talked about how I think the Bears are going to, take that step forward. That's going to have to come at the expense of someone else in the division to some extent. So, yeah, I'm gonna take the under here. I don't feel good about it.
I hate it.
No, neither do I.
Sick to my
I
stomach.
don't feel good about it at all, but I'm going to go with the under here. I don't really have too much to say. You guys kind of hit on everything, but
If you guys don't feel good about it, just take the over with me.
Oh, no.
I don't feel
I
good
don't feel
about
good
that.
No, I don't feel good about that either.
I definitely don't feel
Almost
good
like
about
the
that.
line of
I
10
feel
and a
good about-
half is
yeah.
the perfect
Perfect.
I
line.
was gonna say I feel good at 10.5.
It's literally the perfect
If
line.
we
I
could
get a
just
half a win.
just tie,
Yeah,
well, actually,
tie,
that
yeah.
would be less than 10.5 wins. I mean,
It would be.
True.
But nah,
Yeah.
if we could just split a game in half, yeah, I guess. But
Yep.
nah, it sucks because this was a team that the last few years, like it felt like that was a window, like that was a very clear window for them to go win a Super Bowl. And then last year they really had a great shot at doing it with one of the best rosters all around in all of football. And then everyone gets hurt. Everybody, like nobody was off limits from the injury bug, not even an Aiden Hutchinson, which just sucked to see because through the first 4 games of the season, I think he had like 7.5 sacks, and he was the
something
leader
crazy
in
like
Defensive
that.
Player of the Year at that point.
Yeah.
Runaway in the Defensive Player of the Year through the first month of the season. Like it sucks because the Lions were America's sweetheart for a little bit. Like we hate to see Detroit losing. So, it was nice to see this little run, but I don't know if they're a Super Bowl contender this upcoming year. So, a lot to figure out.
Lot to figure out, lot to overcome. But hey, that's Detroit Lion football. They overcome the odds all the time. That's the Dan Campbell way.
Biting kneecaps, brother.
Hell yeah. Give that man 14 more espressos and he'll probably figure something out. He'll line up at center. Shit. He just might.
He just might.
He just might do it.
He just might.
Another team that had super high expectations going into last season was the Green Bay Packers. A lot of people loved what they saw 2 years ago. Pun intended. It wasn't, but it happened. A lot of people loved what they saw from the Green Bay Packers 2 years ago, and I remember we had a conversation about them just trajecting upward, and there might have been some rocky play in there. That's exactly what happened. They just had a lot of inconsistencies. Jordan Love got hurt at the end of the first game of the season, and they won 2 games with Malik Willis, which was really impressive. But overall, just a lot of inconsistency with the Green Bay Packers, and it was concerning. Their offseason was not very impressive, in my opinion. They signed Nate Hobbs. They paid Aaron Banks a lot of money. He's a good player, but they paid him a lot of money. Drafted Matthew Golden in the first round, which questioned by many, but the Packers are confusing because I want to love this team so much because Josh Jacobs was an absolute monster last year. The run game was truly elite last year. I do think Jordan Love is still that guy. The receiver room questions me because, like we said last year, there's just not a guy that's separated himself from the herd. You would imagine that's going to be first-round pick Matthew Golden, but I'm not super high on him either. And the Christian Watson thing is done. Romeo Doubs was falling out of the pecking order himself last year. Jaden Reed is just, I don't know. It confuses me because I think he's a really good player, but he's just used in a lot of weird ways. And again, like I said, just a lot of inconsistencies with the Packers. And they're
Craft.
Tucker Kraft's a dog, man. He's one of the
Absolute
ones.
animal.
But on the other side of the ball, their pass rush was terrible. I don't really have the numbers here, but their pass rush wasn't good, and they didn't do anything to address it, which concerns me. So they won 11 games last year. I think I'm going to take the under here at about 9 wins. Vegas nailed it again, but I don't feel great about it because, again, I do really like Jordan Love. And there's a lot to like about this Packers team, but there's some concerns here.
Yeah. So you kind of swindled my option here, my choice.
That's what I do, baby.
Yeah. After what you said, I think the Packers got to lay off the cheese. You know? And last year they won 11 games, all right?
Yeah.
Very impressive season with all that being said. And I just don't think nothing too positive changed here. And I don't think they necessarily take much of a step forward. But I do think it's possible that these other teams are just getting better. And, man, 9.5. Because I don't want to say they're going to lose 2 more games than last year, but even if they did, they'll still have a winning record. And I do think they'll still be a team that's a winning record.
Well,
What do you think, bro?
I
You
know.
gotta make
can't
that
take them at
decision,
9.5.
dog.
You gotta land somewhere.
I know.
It's tough. I know. It's brutal.
I don't think they take too much of a step back from last year. If they do, it's by 1 game, winning 10 games instead of 11, and that would put them right over.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go the over.
Yeah, I mean all the inconsistencies I mentioned, and they still won 11 games, so
This-
pretty impressive. But
This
yeah.
was, I think, the hardest choice for me
Yeah.
out of all 8 teams we went over today. Yeah, I'm gonna go over by the slightest bit, and I don't feel crazy about it, but I don't feel horrible about it either.
I mean, yeah, I definitely don't feel good about this one. It's a rough one for sure. But last year, Jordan Love was just one of the most unlucky quarterbacks in the entire NFL, be it with the injury, with drop problems. And
Still won 11 games.
exactly, they still won 11 games last year. And Matt LaFleur has quickly turned into, granted, he's been one of the best coaches in the NFL for a very long time now. And that defense was quietly a top 10 unit last year. Even with all the flaws that we mentioned, they were a top 10 unit last year, and Jair wasn't healthy for much of it either. So I got to take the over. I think they're a 10-win team at obviously the minimum in this case. So, yeah, I think Green Bay still got it. I think their offense is going to be explosive enough, and I think Jeff Hafley got that defense right, man. So them boys are gonna be good again this year.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm going to take the over on the Packers, too. I think some things that stand out, like you said, overall the team was very inconsistent, from the quarterback play to the defense. Still managed to win 11 games. They had one of the worst pass rushing units in the league. They didn't really address that. They were 26 in pass rush win rate as a team, but still managed to win 11 games. The thing that stands out to me with the Packers is they went 1-5 in the division. And they were 5-5 in one-score games, 3-4 in games decided by 3 or less points. Just to me, I know people hate when we use this term, but it seems like they're just due for positive regression, kind of like along the margins. And they still won 11 games without that.
Yep.
So, yeah, I kind of feel like 10 wins just seems like the floor for this team. So I think Jordan Love still has it in him to take another step. Am I predicting that? I don't know, but it's definitely in there. But overall, I think if you just get a more consistent season out of this group of guys, they should be able to easily clear 10 wins. Like you mentioned, losing Jair really doesn't matter because he didn't play last season much anyway. So, again, does Rashawn Gary have another step he could take? That would be huge for them.
Yeah,
because
that would change everything.
he hasn't really been the superstar
No,
that
not the last few
they
years.
hoped him to be, that he showed flashes of being. But, I mean, if he could take that next step, that completely changes everything for this team. But we know their offense is going to be good. You have one of the best rushing attacks in the league with LaFleur's brain and Josh Jacobs' dog. You have a quarterback who could play at a top 10, sometimes even a top 5 level. You have a good offensive line unit. You have a solid defensive unit. I don't know. I still think their defense is weird, but they're not bad. They're a top half unit at worst. So
Yeah.
Sometimes DCs can get the most out of, and I think Halfley's one of them guys. So
I just, like I said, like you guys said, there's a lot to like here. The offseason was just underwhelming to me, and it's just, I don't know. It's a tough division too. Like that definitely factors in another instance where in probably any other division, I probably take the over.
It's just like, do you think they're gonna go 1-5 in the division again? I mean, obviously it's in the cards. This division's a crapshoot.
Probably not.
Probably not,
But
right? So that gives them an extra
I
win
guess,
or two
yeah.
right there, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Automatic.
And then those one-score games, man, like if your receivers, I don't know, catch the football a little bit more.
Like,
Right,
yeah.
but the
No.
receivers
See,
also aren't that good.
Right,
You know,
that's
like
something that I just can't say will change.
right.
I can't say the receivers will start catching balls because they just
Well,
that's their weakness.
that's
Josh Jacobs
definitely
will.
Wicks' weakness.
He'll run the ball. Yeah.
Josh Jacobs will catch the ball too, though.
Josh
Yeah,
Jacobs is a great pass
Josh
catcher.
Jacobs is
Yeah.
a dog.
Yeah.
I agree with that to where I'm not gonna say the Packers will be better because the receivers will start catching balls, but I just think overall as a unit, I think they're gonna just somehow, some way get some good luck on their side, if that makes sense. Which I do agree that. I don't think the pass catching was unlucky because I think those guys are bums, but I think overall they were just an unlucky team and a lot of shit didn't go in their favor. I mean, they lost. They lost 2 games to the Lions by a combined 4 points.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. An unlucky team that still won 11 games
Right.
and lost with the combined 4 points to the Lions. Like,
2
we're
games.
also
A team that
lost
got
to the Vikings
worse.
by 2 points too, didn't they?
Yeah, then
In one of the games. One of the games
they got the
smoked.
brakes beat off
Dude,
them.
I'm slamming this over. Are you crazy?
Yeah, I
Slamming
really
it.
like this line for them. So
Hammering. I'm actually gonna put some big stakes on this.
I don't know if it's a crazy thing to say, and I don't know if
They
it's
actually
even
lost by 2 twice to the Vikings.
twice to the Vikings.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
the
but that-
Lions blew the
Lions,
brakes
I
off
think,
them
beat the
one
brakes
time.
One of
off
those
them.
Vikings games, that score is very misleading.
Yeah. That's what it
Yeah.
was. Something like
Yep.
that. Whatever it was, but I know it was a combined 4 points to one of the two teams, but
I think they actually might have got blown out
Yeah.
both times to the Lions.
No, they lost by 10 to the Lions once, and then they lost by 3 the next time.
Oh, really?
They beat the Saints 34-0. That's pretty funny.
They played almost everybody close.
Yeah,
They were a great team. Philly,
besides
they lost.
the
they
Eagles,
lost-
Lions, and Vikings, they couldn't
Yeah.
beat.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
and
you
they
got-
lost in close games.
You guys are making good arguments. It's like I said, the problems they had, I feel like they didn't really fix. That's really
100%.
what it comes down
I
to. But
agree.
luck could change, and they could
Yeah,
easily.
that's
they
kind
could
of my
easily hit
whole
this.
reasoning.
Yeah.
It's
That's
just
fair.
luck being on their side because I completely agree with you. They had for the potential that this group has, the potential of a quarterback like Jordan Love, they did a pretty piss poor job addressing some things in
Agreed.
this offseason.
Yeah,
And Love played injured for part of that year, too.
yeah. That's
So
fair.
even coming back, it's
Yeah.
they might be a sneaky Super Bowl
I
contender.
think there's a real world where all 4 teams in this division
wins?
win 9.
Nine
That- well,
games, yeah.
10 might be crazy.
10, yeah.
but
Dude, that's what
I'll say
mine-
9 for
Yeah.
the sake of it, but I was
Yeah.
low-key about to say 10, but that sounded crazy coming
Yeah.
in my head.
I took the over for every single team in this division.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
happeing. There's no shot. I just
Even
can't
if it's
see
not
it.
all right, but look at the over. So
It's
for
so
example,
difficult, yeah.
Packers, Jordan
No, I
Love
know,
over
I
9.5.
know.
No, Jordan Love over 9.5 wins. So that's a lock. That wasn't funny. But what's it called? I think the Vikings have a winning season with 9 wins. The Bears is the only one I'm kind of iffy about, but I think I'm just kind of being biased with Ben Johnson being and their coach. And then Lions, I will win 9 games. So yeah, why can't they all win 9 games? Fuck it.
No, I'm saying that all four
I
of
know,
them
'cause the
won't hit
over-
the over most likely.
I know because the over
That
for the
is
Lions
just-
is
Yeah, you're a
11,
betting man. The
but
odds of all 4 hitting the over.
It's not very high,
yeah.
but
I'm
I think
curious
they
how many
all
times
win
that's
9.
fucking happened in NFL history. How many times does all 4 divisions all 4 teams in a division hit the over?
Not just hit the over, but win 9 games.
Yeah.
Like the lowest over/under is 8.5.
typically
You know?
it's like
so,
usually 4.5
If
or
it's
something for the
if a
bottom
team
team.
here is not going to win 9 games, it's going to be the Bears or the Vikings, and I think they both win 8 in that situation.
I do agree that the floors for those teams are lower than the floors for the top 2.
Yeah,
But
but the floor is like
yeah,
8.
probably. Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah,
in
but
my opinion,
I don't know if the floor for the Bears is 8.
it's probably like
I think
6,
the floor
7.
for the Bears is probably 6, 7.
7.
But like, I don't know. It's probably the best division in football. If it's not
Looking
the
at it-
best, it is one of the best top 2.
Yeah. I mean, the
Like, I'm
AFC,
trying to
the
think of
AFC,
what
well,
other-
the AFC West probably.
Nah, because I don't.
It's not better.
Actually,
but
I don't know.
It's close.
That's actually real close.
It's unfortunate.
I think
The
it's
AFC
close. That's
North,
really close.
like, if the Browns weren't in it, like,
That's
Yeah,
what I was.
that
That's what I was
breaks
about
it
to
down,
say. I
yes.
was about to say the North is pretty good. The AFC North is pretty good too, but the
but they have
Browns
the
are there.
Browns, like the
So-
Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers, like, and Browns. Like, fuck.
People aren't ready for this conversation.
Don't say it.
People aren't ready
You
for
literally
this
can't say it, bro.
conversation.
You can't say it.
The NFC East
No, bro.
is on the come up. That's all I know. Giants maybe winning it. You'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
This is the best division in football, and if it's not one, it's two behind the AFC West. So
With
or
this,
the South divisions because both are really good.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Tennessee Titans, real good.
with this being one of our favorite divisions in the NFL right now, I want to hear our favorite breakout players for the NFC North. Matty J, I want you to take this one off, man.
yeah, so my breakout player for the NFC North, it's JJ McCarthy. I'll
Shocking.
beat the dead horse over and over and over again. My guy, in my opinion, about to just absolutely break onto the scene. He's going to have a phenomenal first starting season in the NFL. He's got a perfect situation surrounding him. He was one of the best on money downs in college football. And I really just think KOC, Jettas, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and one of the best offensive lines in football. It's made JJ McCarthy big year.
That's exciting. Very exciting.
You sound so excited.
That's exciting.
You sound so excited. That's exciting.
That's exciting.
What I am excited about, though, and I know Tom is as well, is Rome Odunze this season for the Bears. Obviously, he's got Caleb Williams throwing him the ball now with an only improving offense with Ben Johnson as their coach. So I think the sky's the limit for Rome Odunze. I think last year's production is only half of what he's even his potential, man. And I am so excited to see him as a top target to Caleb Williams. I think the floor is high for him, and so is the ceiling. So I'm
Ceiling
going.
is the roof.
Yeah. So I'm going Roman Dunze, man, as our breakout player this season.
My dynasty buy low, man.
Yeah, I'm
Love
gonna
it.
piggyback off you, Pete. My breakout candidate in the NFC North is gonna be none other than Caleb Williams.
Let's go.
A lot of the same points you made. You get Ben Johnson. You go from a bottom 5 offensive line to arguably a top 5 offensive line. He has the generational tag. He has all of these weapons around him. Some would even say a plethora of weapons. Luther Burden, DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet, DeAndre Swift, and Roshan Johnson.
It's fucking ridiculous. DeAndre Swift and Roshan Johnson in this is just silly. Don't do that.
Caleb, like I said before, kind of being a dead horse, but just for the sake of the TikTok, the biggest thing that stands out to Caleb from his rookie year was the fact that he threw all them passes without throwing an interception. He was one of, if not the best rookie quarterbacks last year in terms of protecting the football, which I think just goes a long way. It helps a new coach like Ben Johnson, form that trust with you and kind of take the training wheels off week by week and let you kind of do more and expand your game more. And we all know Caleb has a lot of layers to his game that I think maybe not from week 1 in this new system we'll see, but as the season goes on, I see the Ben Johnson system allowing Caleb to kind of take his training wheels off and not hibernate, blossom into a butterfly.
Blossom
into a butterfly. My breakout pick for the NFC North. My breakout pick for the NFC North. It's going to be a little more boring, but I'm going to go with Nate Hobbs, brand new cornerback for the Green Bay Packers. Got a nice contract there, 4 years, $48 million. Packers have faith in him that he could take over that number 1 spot that Jair Alexander left on the plate. And the thing I like about Nate Hobbs is he's super versatile. He can play the nickel. He can play the outside. You can put him all over the field. Plug him into an already solid Green Bay unit. I think he's primed for a big year.
Yeah.
I'm going to call you out on that real quick. You said you didn't like what they did in the offseason. And now
No,
you're
it's not
loving
like Nate Hobbs.
Okay. All right.
He did say that.
Yeah, I didn't want to give it away too much, but,
can't give it up all at
But that
once.
was it.
Yeah.
They got Nate
Can't
Hobbs and
give it
Aaron
up.
Banks.
And give it up.
You got to make them work for it.
Right, exactly, yeah.
Got to make them work for it. All right, well, thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and follow us on all of our socials. Are we putting the draft guide in the
Yeah, I'll put the draft guide.
Yeah, we might as well. Draft guide coming out, so go check that thing out. Early August. Go pre-order it, put that email in.
Pre-order for free.
Exactly. $0.00. And that was
Ball game.
Ball game.
Ball game, baby.